I don't want you to know what it feels like to keep all of this pain so concealed. Like I want out of this plane, I told my psych, you don't need to, you don't need to. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, the times we had, yeah. All these pleasures my brain can't have, I want out, so please don't be sad. Give it up, cause I'm getting out. Don't be sad, you could let it out. All the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you could send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out. This is the end of my part now. We will be never apart, no. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. Don't leave, I need you with me. Don't die, I need you alive. Don't go, don't leave me alone. You said, yeah. My entire life feels like one big mistake, and all these pills inhibit re-uptake. I can't arrive at any reason to wait. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. And I don't care, cause I don't give, I take from this world so superficial and fake. In all your joys I simply cannot relate. Take it one at a time, only take it one night at a time. I say goodbye, it's getting late now. Please don't cry, you'll know I made it out. Say goodbye before I fade out, before I fade out, before I fade out. I'm losing patience, living in damnation. I'm dark vibrations, singing incantations. It must sound like I'm mad, I'm never found to be glad. I'm working out of the math, the answer's always been sad, yeah. I'm a zero summation, lost in translation. Here's my resignation, from this life I'm not staying. My whole life's a passing fad. You'll remember the times we had, times we had, yeah. Let it out, all the shit I'm forgetting now. My whole life I've been checking out. All I said, you can send it out. Light it up, now I'm headed out.
Hello everybody and welcome to the zoo. I'm the Rusty Panda and I'm here for you. Today we've got OoRacket in the house.
Hello, hi, hello.
Let me know if the levels are okay, guys. But yes, everybody, welcome on in. Mother of Card, Brunch is the best. It's good to see you guys. Definitely good to have some people around. So if you haven't been here before, this is Wiki Wednesday, the show where we go down the Wikipedia rabbit hole, where we go with 15 things the streamer likes, 5 things they don't, and we go ahead and search them and talk about them and learn more about the streamer. So, Jerry Legend, Racket, still not sleeping.
I'm always being chased with that by Jerry. Everywhere I go, it's all the time. Just tell me to sleep.
Look at all these fun friends here. Hi, guys. Welcome on in.
Hi, Harry Poo.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, yeah, guys, we do more of this, so definitely feel free to stick around. We can learn more about who's going to be next week, which I have to remember. And, but we're going to focus on right now. And right now is Eurovision, because I knew that not only was it on OoRacket's list, but also who is most important on this list. And I feel like Eurovision might be it. Am I close?
It's probably a top 3. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's definitely up there, especially for like where I am now. And like, you know, with my love of music, I find the Eurovision to be absolutely fantastic for both experiencing the worst music, mostly the worst, but also the best occasionally. So Eurovision's like the party time of the year for Europe. So like I have a great time with it all the time. So it's like, it's Christmas for Europeans. Especially anyone in the LGBTQ community, like it's like it's their, it's almost the start of their pride basically with how it goes. It's so great. So
Oh.
it's wonderful. I don't know, like I fell in love with it really early on as well. So like I've been a big fan there for like almost 30 years. So it's
How long has
it's
this
certainly
been
something.
going on? Hold on a second. Wait, how many years is this?
Probably like since like the 50s.
1956?
Yeah, 1956. Yeah, yeah. ABBA got their start in the Eurovision.
Okay, okay. So is this like The Voice?
Um,
Or like
well, okay,
America's Got Talent?
Uh, it's kind of like a mini one of those for like every country. So like, I mean, sometimes like countries will like pick like an act and send a song through, but usually like it's been like most of the time growing up for like Ireland for me, it's been like we'll have like 4 or 5 songs competing, and then we'll vote locally for them to go on to Europe to compete, and
Wow.
and then that'll be like the thing that battles it out, and like. It's grown so big that like they have to have like 3 shows now every year, 2 semi-finals and 1 main show, because there's like 40 odd countries that take part every year. So like the final itself is still like 4 to 5 hours long at least, because it goes on forever, and it's just it's pretty wild with that. But yeah, I mean, I suppose it's like a precursor to stuff like The Voice in a sense, kinda. I
Okay.
guess maybe. So
So each country awards 1 through 8, 10, and 12
yeah,
points in their 10 favorite songs.
yeah.
Okay. And
They had to
then,
change that up as well. Yeah.
oh wow. And then Cirque du Soleil, past, wait, I thought it was only music. Is Cirque du Soleil not music? I thought it was a
No, so
performance.
the after there's like 25 performances in the final night, so then they'll have like an interval act. So that's why Justin Timberlake's in there. Is they'll have an interval act to be like take up 15 minutes, because they have to allow time for everyone to vote because they open the votes, and then the entirety of Europe votes on a phone line still, and then like after like I don't know, maybe half an hour, it's like, oh yeah, the votes are closed, and then it takes like 2 hours for them to go through each country's votes and announce everything, who gets all the points, and then we find out the winner at like 1 a.m. my time. So it's pretty crazy. And the best thing about the voting power is there's always controversy, because it's like, neighboring countries voting for other neighboring countries. So it leads to a lot of infighting around Europe over people complaining. The Brits are never getting votes because everyone hates the Brits. So they get really angry about it. And British Twitter during the Eurovision is just like chef's kiss. It's so good seeing everyone get so angry over this cheesy music contest
Oh my
where
god.
barely anything good comes out of it, especially these days. So like it's pretty wild.
Oh my
Um,
god. Who's won? Like for you, have you guys won?
Oh, we're I think either tied the most or Sweden just overtook us. But that was like there was 5 years in a row in the 90s, so I didn't watch it the first couple of years. I could like think for myself,
Right.
because Ireland just constantly won. It got to the point, because of us being a small country, and the winning country always has to host the next year,
Mm-hmm.
so they have to pay for like this big event and all this stuff. So our small and also like it's entered by like the main broadcasters in each country. So like our main broadcaster RTE started being basically like it was like they kind of didn't want to win because they had to keep hosting and it kept costing them more money. So like it became like they were almost trying to sabotage their own win to like avoid hosting it for how much it costs and all that. So it
Wow.
was pretty wild with that. So
Wow. Color the
I,
dates of debut, 1950s over here. So it
yeah.
goes as far as Russia? Is that Russia or
Yeah,
China?
yeah. Russia, that's Russia. Yeah,
Okay.
Russia's in it, but they haven't been in it the last couple of years ever since the Ukrainian war and all that. So, like,
Right.
they've been dropped out of that. Ukraine actually won a couple of years ago. Probably, like, the song was okay, but it wasn't the best song. But, like, everyone voted for them because it was, like, like, that's the thing. Like, with that political voting I talked about before in terms of voting for your neighbors, they actually introduced a few years ago the jury vote. So each country sends, like, 5 esteemed members of, like, the music industry and that kind of thing to, like, vote. So the points totals are split in half between these jury votes and the fan votes to try and like balance out the political nature of it. It's kind of not worked, but like even with that, like Ukraine probably finished like third in they finished lower down. They didn't finish first, but like the public just like gave them all the points. Basically, they got like 12 points for almost every country. So Ukraine won whenever they probably didn't deserve it. And then the
Right.
Britain had to host it last year because Ukraine couldn't host it with the ongoing war. So like
Right.
Britain ended up picking up the tab. So
Wow.
yeah,
And
it's. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
no, you go
Yeah.
first.
No, I was gonna like it's just like that whole political thing. It's all fits in so well. Again, like a cheesy music contest gets people so riled up around Europe and like causes all this like madness online. It's just so great. It is like the best experience for the worst music possible. I love
Wow.
it. Or
And
even some good music, seeing as ABBA was there. So
Australia is entered in 2015. How'd that go?
I mean, some people usually whenever like countries like that enter, it's like, oh well, why are they entering? But they were invited because it was the 60th anniversary. They did okay. They released a couple of good songs. There was a good song last year that was kind of like, I don't know if you've heard the band Pendulum, but like it was really good last year. They've released a couple of good songs in. So,
Hmm.
but I think they're debating whether to come back just again because of the cost of entering and stuff. So it's pretty. It's pretty tough for like a lot of the smaller countries because you like a lot of countries have ended up having to pull in and pull out because of the cost, which is again is a contentious issue. So um,
Right.
because they make it such a big, like huge thing. Like they have to book out a giant arena for like a week, so or even 3 weeks, I think, because they have to do auditions or not auditions, but rehearsals and that. So
Oh wow.
um, yeah, and the only time it's been missed in that time was 2020 with the pandemic. Every year it's been there. Every May it's
Every
there like
May? Oh
clockwork.
God.
Every May, yeah.
May's
End of
my
May. I think
birthday, so let's
I hope you're.
party.
I hope. Yeah. See, look, it's you're. This is designed for you for your month. They knew like it was like just for you. They made it specifically for the Rusty Panda. So it's so
Yeah,
fun.
like I
But
have
like
to get on there, yeah?
exactly, and everyone like has watch parties around Europe and all that. Like it is such a big event for a lot of people, and I feel like it's growing again. Like with my generation, I feel the generation above me kind of grew to hate it and whatever. But like I feel like we ended up like loving the pageantry, the campness to it quite a bit. So like it's right up my alley. I love a good camp performance. So
Yeah.
it's
And
great.
so you look at it as like something that's just fun, whereas Europe looks at it like it's just like, or what the they would basically look at it as like, oh my God, this is life, this has to happen, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
kind of. Yeah, basically, and then like it'll end up with oh, I think my camera's frozen already. I think it'll end up with like I mean, like even then, a lot of people don't take it seriously. But once it comes to the voting, it's like we want to win. Like the Brits are like, oh, we want to pull out, we don't care about it, and then like they suddenly want to win. So like it's kind of nutty how that ends up happening with them too. Where like they want to go in and make sure that they can win across the board. So
Right.
yeah. Just
Hmm.
need to restart this a second.
Yeah, no worries. And everybody, sorry if I'm missing chat and certain stuff. It's so good to have you all in here. And to see y'all have friends in here and such. It's just great to see. I love this community. I love OoRacket's community. Um, and you won with Duncan. He was awesome as Netherlands. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think I remember him from the Netherlands. Yeah, he was pretty great. He was well loved by a lot of people. So very much so. There we go. I think that's that back. Wait, is that not playing out? Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry.
Racket and broken cameras go together like two things that are well known to go together.
Yeah, I know. I need to get a wired camera at some point. I really do. I'm here to break everything. That's all I'm going to do tonight.
No,
Is break
that's
everything. Also, hi, Mike
fine.
Ray.
That's fine.
Uh,
So
and yeah, like the political controversies there and the list, like there's just like so much that has like happened with it, and like it's just I don't know, like I love the salt that can happen. Again, like the Brits like are like they'll put in the worst songs possible. They'll be like, we need to win, like even though it's terrible, and Europe just hate us because they won't give us points. But like if they put in like a good song, they usually do get some points. But like it's not, it depends. It's just like it's great to see that delusion and salt across Europe as a whole. It's just beautiful. I love it. I savor the beef and the drama, and sometimes you get good music as well. I like the first year I watched it, and I think it was like '96. Katrina and the Waves won for Britain.
okay.
Yeah, so the Walking on Sunshine guys, they
Yep.
won with a song for Britain. Yeah, yeah. So like like it was like sometimes it's a pretty big deal on that. And then like I know recently the biggest band that came out of it was probably Maneskin. Whenever they won for Italy a couple of years ago, they became pretty big around the world afterwards. I think they ended up like doing like I don't know some late night shows in America and all that. So it's
Okay.
been.
Now I was looking here for political controversies, and by the way, Wrench, he's in Ireland. OoRacket.
Ah, okay, all right, there we go.
He's like, is he in Europe? Hi, Infozar.
Jack, White Great Pain. Hi guys.
Oh goodness. Okay, so political controversies is what I was looking at. So basically, what you were telling me about Ukraine and all of that going on and how it kind of skewed the votes.
Yeah. Pretty much all that sort of stuff, and then like every little conflict will like end up like being a part of like an issue in there. Like there was a lot of stuff with like Turkey over the years and other places too. So it's always fun to see that come in as well and come into play, and them like try, because I think there's like a rule where you can't really like make a political statement with a song, but they sometimes kind of bend the rule for certain countries. It's always interesting to see that as well and to see what they do.
So it looks here because of where everybody voting preferences between countries in Eurovision between 1997 and 2017. Oh my God, is that even, what is that name? Hold on a second. Bosnia Herzegovina.
Herzegovina, yeah, Bosnia Herzegovina, yeah. So it's one of the Eastern Bloc countries in the Balkans.
Okay, I'm terrible with geography, so that was like news to me. Okay,
I think have they split now as countries? I can't remember. They might have done.
No, Bosnia.
I can never keep up with Eastern Europe. Yeah,
but that whole name I was not familiar with. Okay, so Ireland and United Kingdom seem to go hand in hand. Netherlands.
We don't give as many points to the Brits as they give to us. It's always funny because my British friends were always like, "Why won't you give us any points?" And we just find it funny because they'll always give us like 5 or 6. So it's like, it's a fair trade really for everything over the years, I think. So it works out.
Right. Yeah, that was also looking at a map up here that was talking about color coded, and it was saying that Greenland worked with another country. Hold on, what did it say? It said competed as part of another country but never as a sovereign country, and that is Greenland.
Huh, I did not know that.
I'm not able to get over. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was curious about that. But okay, so that's since 1956. So
I think, speaking of like other countries, I think Celine Dion represented Malta in like the early 90s. Like I actually just randomly represented Malta if I recall correctly. So
Celine Dion. Okay. There's 5 mentions for her. Several of the best-selling artists in the world have competed in past editions, including ABBA, Celine Dion, Julio Iglesias, Cliff Richards, and Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, she competed too, yeah.
Wow. Give me more Celine Dion. What's going on? Celine Dion wins for Switzerland in 1988.
Oh, it was Switzerland, was it? Okay, right. I thought it was Malta.
ABBA 1974 winners for Sweden.
Yeah, they won with Waterloo, I think, was their entry.
Yep. And Olivia Newton-John did the United Kingdom, placing 4th behind ABBA, but went to sell 100 million records from the film Grease.
Yeah. I don't even know if she was big at that point, I guess, but like, because I really only know her from Grease, pretty much, so.
Yeah, that's she has Let's Get Physical. I think that's the song.
Yeah, that's one of the songs she did, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Launching her into Rusty, can you look at Cliff Richard? I do have a record of him, but I do not know him well. I could look at it. I'm gonna have OoRacket kind of drive the show here.
I mean, Cliff, I remember. The only main thing I know about Cliff is my mum was a big fan of him growing up and still is. So that's about it, really. So
Cliff Richard.
I know he did a bunch of like musical movies, like Summer Holiday, where he's just traveling around in the big red British bus while singing. So
Cliff Richard. Hold on. So it says in the footnotes, Cliff Richard's congratulations beaten in Eurovision Fix? ?
Oh, I don't know about this now. I guess I don't know what happened.
What is this? Let me click this. I love this clickbait. Cliff Richard lost out on the 1968 Eurovision contest because of a fix. Oh my God. I'm not going to go too much more into
Franco.
that, but oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
hilarious.
Like people were like again like you've got like 60 years of this of like people like jostling and claiming fixes and all this for a silly song contest. It is so funny to
Oh
me
my
to
god.
have that.
Yeah, it all sounds very cheeky.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And like I don't know like do you remember the sax roll meme with the guy doing the sax while thrusting?
Yes.
That comes from Eurovision. That was like Moldova or something like that in like 2011 or I don't know the exact year, but like see, there's so many memeable moments that have come from this too, and
Right. And it's so funny how like I knew nothing of this.
yeah, it's worth a watch even just for 1 year. I think I scared Jack Infozar off once because he came in while I was watching the music videos for 2023's contest, and like he came in during like a Eastern European punk band that were like dressed up like Russian soldiers parodying. I think they did a song. The song that they put in was like my mama bought an idiot a tractor, and I think it was about like Putin getting gifted a tractor or something by like Bulgaria or something or some president, and like so like they're going marching in. Their stage performance for that night was them marching towards their instruments in like full gear and then like just like ripping it off and just ending up in like little vests and tidy whities just playing the rest of the song while like all these crazy visuals go on behind them. It's so cheesy and wonderful. I love it to bits.
Infozar said I ran.
He did, yeah, he did. He really did. He stayed for like 5 seconds and
Oh my
could
god.
not wait to get out.
Okay, look at this. So, oh gosh darn it. It always moves and I can't move it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do no, that's not what I wanted. Moving up, moving down. Where am I? It has the winning countries, the most winning countries, and I think here we go. Is this it? No, that's 100%. Hold
No.
on, I'll get there. Here it is. So seven
Yeah,
wins.
we won 7. Okay, so we're tied with Sweden still. That's good. Sweden have really caught up in the last number of years, so
And then
uh,
5 goes down to Europe, right?
that's France and
Oh,
the
that's
UK.
okay. UK and France, right.
Yeah,
And then, oh, Italy has some.
yeah. Italy won with Maneskin a couple of years ago, so like that was like 2021.
And then all these guys have ones.
Yeah, it's been like shared around like a bit of Eastern Europe a bit since like since the USSR split apart and all that. Like a lot of like stuff has gone to Eastern Europe now, and
Come on.
I think Israel won once as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's like again, like it's passed around quite a bit over that way, so
Sorry, my everything just broke.
it's fine. I mean, like my camera's probably going to break 5 more times during the stream, so
Oh, fantastic.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, I meant oh, fantastic. That means that you're gonna break my stuff too.
Well, if we break everything, it can only go fantastic. Chaos is the nature of art, just like the Eurovision.
Perfect.
Exactly.
We tied
Yeah,
it around. We brought the
it's
whole thing back around.
Eurovision Boros all around, just like tied right there. It works completely.
I love the little heart for the V.
Yeah,
That's so
it's great.
precious.
So like whenever a country's hosting it, like their flag will be in the heart, and then every time someone performs, it changes on like screen to each country's heart and all that. So
That's
it's
awesome.
really nice.
Yeah.
It's a good design.
Yeah. All right. So for the most recent contest, so we have the who won last year, but the Eurovision contest for 2024
Yeah. Oh God, who won?
is set to be the 68th edition, and it's scheduled to take place in Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. Yeah, Sweden tied us this year. Then, yeah.
With the song "Tattoo" by Loreen.
Yeah, Loreen won like 15 years ago when she came back this year and won again. I didn't think it deserved to win. It was a good song. The song I wanted to win from last year was "Who the Hell Is Edgar," which was about Edgar Allan Poe. It's the actual reason I've got like an Edgar Allan Poe emote on my channel is because I love that song so much. So,
yes.
but yeah, it was a really good song as well because they wrote it about like how like Spotify is killing the industry. Because and that which I don't think went over well with the music industry by playing that on the world stage, but it's or certain parts of the music industry anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Good night, Wrench. Have a good night. I'm okay. So, which hosted 1992 and 2013. The seventh in Sweden, which last hosted in Stockholm 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll take place in Malmo.
Mm-hmm.
Got that. I want to know because it's saying that the semifinals on 7 and 9. Okay, it's all
Yeah.
backwards for me. It's the 9th and 7th of May, and final
Mm-hmm.
on May 11th, 2024.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is the run of the week, and then that's how it goes. So, like, I think it's like,
Oh yeah, here it says semifinal, final, and then
yeah,
yeah.
like 16 countries compete in semi-final one, 16 countries compete in semi-final two, and 10 from each night go into the final. 5 countries qualify automatically for the final, which is also another contentious issue. It's basically the 5 countries that pay the most get to the final straight away. So I think it's like the UK, Italy, France, Spain, and Germany all go in straight away. Maybe there's another country in there too, but like um, they're auto qualifiers for the final, so they don't, they're always in the final.
Oh my god, that is
Yeah.
such bullshit.
Yeah, this is how I feel. But like, I think it's because like, especially Britain. So Britain would usually finish like the final with 0 points. Germany, I think, finished with like very little points this year as well. But like, it's like because they're saying that like, well, we pay the most, so we deserve to be in there in the main event and get like the most exposure. So what can you do? Money wins, right? It's the music industry, so money wins.
Pay
It's
to
terrible.
win. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Pay to win.
Yeah, they bought
Wow.
the DLC and fully got it. Yeah, it's how dare they? How
How
dare they?
dare? How very dare? All right. So we've touched on that. Now I'm
Mm.
curious because we're talking about TV shows.
Mm.
We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna have to do it this way. Wikipedia is being bonkers today, like
I love Wikipedia
bonkers.
whenever it is like crazy.
Okay. So
Ah, the Angelus.
the Angelus. I'm glad you said it first because I didn't know how to say it. So I was gonna be like Angelus,
Mm-hmm.
but that's fine. We'll say it the way that is properly said. So it's a radio and television program. So tell me more
Yeah,
about it.
it's a 1 minute program every day. It's like the main thing I'm thinking of is the TV show, which is 1 minute long before the 6 o'clock news. So our main news program on our main broadcaster RT is called the 6:01 news because it will always start 1 minute past 6 because of the Angelus. So the Angelus is really funny in terms of like being there from the Catholic Church ruling the country, basically, and us needing to worship it, and all that. So the Angelus is, the break in the day whenever the bells ring in the Catholic Church, and it's like, here, say a Hail Mary and reflect and think of some things. So there's a spot on the TV. I think it used to be on at midday as well, but I think they cut the midday version. I don't watch TV anymore, so I don't know. But the Angelus itself is like this really funny thing to me because like over the years it's had like these really silly videos put together for that 1 minute of reflection, and it's like the one I'm thinking of is like from the early to mid 2000s, where like it's like, they'll play the bell of a church, and then suddenly it'll like cut to like a woman making tea in the kitchen, and then she'll suddenly look up because she hears the bell and look out the window and reflect, and then it's like a slow fade to like a farmer tilling some crops, and he'll look up because he's hearing the bell and it's time to reflect. And it's just like this stupid like Irish thing that like I love dearly,
Oh my
because it's
god.
like it's like it's a national institution at this point, a national treasure. And I don't know too many people that hate it. You'll hear a few people that are like, oh, well, religion, terrible. Like, I'm an atheist, it's whatever. I don't care. I just find it really funny that we have it, and I want us to keep it forever because it's like so unique to us to have that. I think like we've changed away from that, like those silly reflection fades, and it's like now we've got like really weird animated things of like deer running through the forest and that or something, and it's very strange, but I love the Angelus. It's something, and that's saying a lot considering the Angelus itself used to haunt me because I remember like the threat of being shouted at if I wasn't able to say my Hail Mary at midday because in the Catholic school, because
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. It's a very special. It's another goofy program that really pushes forward what Ireland is, I think, and what it grew up with. So
Yeah, 318,000 audience in the 1
Yeah.
minute future. That's crazy. That's crazy. Saturday to Thursday, Angelus had a revamp in late May or early June in
Oh, okay.
2023.
Oh, so recently, okay, I definitely haven't seen that. I'm gonna need to look that up later on or something. I'm very curious to see what they've done.
Saturday to Thursday, though. That's so Friday. So Friday is just different. Is the same.
Friday, I don't know what. Maybe we don't do it on Friday. Maybe Friday's party day. We let our hair down. We don't bother with like doing the Angelus. I don't know. The news starts at 6 and everyone's very confused because they missed the first minute of the headline. And it's like, wait, what's going on? We don't know what's going on. I don't get it. I need to find out now. You're gonna have me watching TV for the first time in a long time doing this, so this is
Hey.
gonna work out great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is there anything more you want to say on this?
I mean, not particularly, because I just thought it was like goofy and it was like a fun point to bring up in and talk a bit about. Like, I don't know. I again, I feel it's like a good Irish institution, and again, not being religious, I think it holds a place just for being goofy enough and to remind us of like the horrors of the Catholic Church in Ireland. I guess is all I can think of. So I don't know. That's about it.
No, I love that. Most recently showed a number of people varying gender and ages pause to pray at the sound of a bell.
Yeah, yeah, it's so ridiculous. All the videos are on YouTube, I think, if anyone wants to go and like look at them.
Oh
So
my god.
it's just that image of everyone, and they all do the same like head lift up. You know, like there's a woman like feeding a baby, and suddenly she's like,
Oh my god.
it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
I can see it. That's why it's
Yeah.
so funny.
It's
Oh god.
it's just something special about it, and I feel like they have lost a bit with that replacement with the animated stuff. But now I need to see this revamp. Maybe they've gone back to like, super high def pictures of people just staring.
Oh my
For a
god, that would be funny. That would be super funny.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me why the hell this is on your likes list.
Okay, I love queues. Not queues for the banker and shops. I
No,
hate those. But
okay.
I've spent some of the best times in my life in a queue. Queuing for gigs, for concerts, and queuing for. I remember distinctly queuing for a Harry Potter book whenever I was like 16 or whatever. And just it's my favorite social gallery. Actually, I like you meet people that are doing what you're into, and it's my favorite time to talk. Like whenever I used to go to concerts and all that, I used to queue from like 6 a.m. to get to the front. So even though doors wouldn't open for like another 13 hours, I'd be there like sitting at the front and whatever. And just I've got such great memories and like made great friendships, and then like made friends that day that I never got the name off and I will never speak to ever again. Like, and just like I don't know, talking, and like I really feel like that queues are my favorite thing in the world. I think I love them more than concerts sometimes because it ends up being that fun. It's
Yeah.
really great. The only problem is, like in Ireland, we end up our main music venue is like sat on the sea. So you've got all that sea air blowing in at you, and it's really cold, especially seeing as most concerts I go to end up in being like in November. So it's really chilly, but even then, the warmth of community, of talking to people you'll never speak to ever again, really just gets me through, and I just love queues.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
you've
fun
got a
time.
lot of interesting comments going on over here. So we need to take Racket to Disneyland. See if he still loves queues after that. Sometimes I pretend to queue and just stand around. And I'm immediately
done that.
thinking of stuff we can queue at Boston.
Oh my god, yeah, Jack, if you take me to queues in Boston, I'm gonna be like very happy. It has to be specifically for an event, it can't be at the bank. Unless there's an event at the bank. So, I mean, I don't know.
It's just
are we
funny
giving out
because I'm
coupons?
thinking of all the things that you can queue in, but I'm thinking of Infozar's literal hate for people. And you are just so in love with people. And so just seeing the two of you together in my mind, and you're like, let's go for a queue. And he's like, that's literally the last thing I ever want to do is stand around people.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I like it. I become like an extrovert there. I'm not like I'm like an omnivert, I guess, kind of a mix of things. But like I become a full extrovert in queues because I know I'm around my people. I know that these are my people. If we're queuing at 6 a.m. for the same thing, it's like we're likely pretty similar. So
right.
why not strike up a conversation and have some dumb talk and have a dumb time?
I agree with you. In some sense,
In some
I
ways.
will it if it feels awkward or the line is taking a really long time, then I'll definitely start talking to somebody. Because I'm like, okay, we're having this shared experience that we're all in this grocery line. It's taking way too freaking long. So, you know, wow, I really like your shirt. Oh, you like my shirt? I got this from Target. Oh, that's so great. Tell me more about Target. Like, I'm interviewing them like Wiki Wednesday.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just freaking tell me something so we can make this queue go faster.
Yeah, exactly. And it can work well. And it helps like make the long day even quicker with like other queues. So you get it. You kind of see that even with normal queues. Yeah. I remember I queued for a PS2 once back whenever there was a shortage, and then suddenly the shop was like, "Oh, we get them in," and suddenly there was like 200 people in the queue inside the shop, and like I just recall just after about an hour we did all strike up a conversation, and I made some friends that day that again I will never talk to ever again, and I will remember them dearly for our conversations about what games we liked in our like several hour queue waiting for a PS2. But queues are special. Queues bring love and happiness together. Everyone needs a queue in their life. Everyone needs a solid queue. So I hope everyone out there like goes and gets a queue that they love one of these days and really feels that community aspect of it.
Mother of Car PSQ. That was a really good one.
Yeah. Carp, you're gonna have to be funnier than that whenever you're on doing this at some point.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That's really good.
When I went to TwitchCon, I was in the queue or whatever, and I met this guy who was doing pictures and stuff, and he ended up taking our picture, and we ended up getting the website in which the pictures were on, and that was really cool. And it was like, and that guy became like really popular at the TwitchCon. I mean, he was taking pictures of everybody, and everybody wanted to be taken their picture of. And so that was really cool because I was like, man, I'd never meet anyone like that ever again. Like, I don't walk up to photographers and be like, hey, can you take my picture? He's just like, hey, well, check my lens. And I was like, okay. So I
That's
agree.
how it works. And as well, like, I don't know if you've ever had queue drama. And I don't mean like people just cutting in line. That's bad enough. But okay, so like again, being in the Muse fandom and all that, there are people that travel the world following Muse that always make sure they're first in line in the queue, no matter what. So that always creates drama from people being angry that they go to their own country's gig, and suddenly there's this person that's been to like 50 gigs in the past like month or whatever there. So I get that flavor of salt and drama too as well. So I get the community love and a bit of salt too. So again, it kind of fills in like all my love across the board. So
oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. And the drama of people cutting, where that girl runs through and is like, oh my god, Lisa, and they like run the whole fucking queue and get close to the front, and they're like, Lisa, I haven't seen you in forever. It's not like, Lisa, thanks for holding my spot. It's like, I recognize someone, so I'm gonna cut all of y'all, and everybody just like stares.
Yeah, don't worry, everyone. I'm just here to talk for 2 minutes. I will totally be gone in 2 minutes. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
And then they're there for the next hour. It's
no, they don't even apologize terrible. Here in America.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking apologizes. They just do it and accept their fate. I feel the awkward of the crowd. I'm such an empath. I feel the awkward for them.
That's kind of what we do here as well. Is that we kind of like just like sit there and like we're very we're the kind of people that would tut and like not like bother like getting like really angry at someone. That will do it under our breath. We'll do that all the time too if someone does that. So we're a very angry nation, but very quiet about it. Except whenever we're talking to our friends afterwards, then we get angry around the pub table or whatever, and then it's like then we bitch about it. We're a bitchy nation. We're bitchland, really. So that's how it works. So,
I love it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, that was a great one. That was absolutely great.
I'm glad that worked out. I was worried it would.
No, I love it. I love when shit gets crazy on here. When, like, I don't expect certain things. Okay. So now we're going to make a hard left.
Uh-huh. Ah, Mizuguchi.
Tell me about him.
So, he's, like, the grandfather of, like, synesthesia music video games kind of almost, and it's weird because he's had like a hand in like a lot of my life in terms of because he worked on like Sega Rally early on. So like, and that is like the first racing game I remember playing like in an arcade with like a wheel and pedals, and that was what made me want to get into sim racing 20 odd years later, was because of that. And you know, he worked on all that for Sega. He worked on like Space Channel 5, which again is like another like good music game that has like good stuff and all that in it. And then like he in the like the late 90s he went to a music festival in Germany, like a rave festival or whatever, and was like amazed. Like, I mean, maybe he dropped some acid and this is why he was so amazed by it all, but like, you know, he was like amazed at like how the people moved in time with the music, and he was like watching it and just like with the lights and all going, it's like, this is wild. I kind of make this into like a video game. So he went and made the video game called Rez, which is like this weird like AI construct that you're playing as, but like basically you it's all set in time to music, and you're like part of the instruments with what you do with your guns and all that. So like it's not like you're playing along to the beat, it's like you are the beat to it, and like it kind of, you know, it combines that together in ways that like a lot of other games don't. And you know, and then like eventually they released Res Infinite in VR, so like it's one of the most amazing VR experiences I've ever had. And
That I can imagine.
So like, you know, it's got all this like crazy stuff and all that, and he's really like always trying to like push the boundaries of what synesthesia is. Like they famously for Res, whenever it first came out, they released the, oh, I forget what it was called, but like it was a certain vibrating controller that was literally just designed to vibrate along with the game. I'm not going to say what a lot of people ended up doing with it, but is that it there? I think that might be it, is it? Yeah. Yeah, a lot. It became famous for other reasons as well, but like, you know, he really wanted to like have people like feel the game. I think for the VR version, they ended up making the synesthesia suit, which is supposed to vibrate at certain points in your body if you wear it while playing in VR. And I feel like he is, as I say, he's the grandfather of this kind of like rhythm music synesthesia game, and I'm fascinated by synesthesia in general. One of my favorite drummers for the AIS like has like, you know, a thing where he, you know, the whole medical condition where he can see colors from like, you know, music and like sounds and all that.
My husband has
and I
that.
love the idea of like trying to evoke that. Oh, someone has that?
Galvos, my husband.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. Does he enjoy having it, or?
Yeah, but he'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, that color. It's like he'll be like, see, that reminds me of green, but green squares, and also the
see.
number 5. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what?
Yeah.
But yeah, Galvos, if you're still in here, tell me something that like what color is red in your number system?
That's so cool. In a sense, that's cool. I mean, like like again, that's what some of it evokes in like Res, especially in VR and all that. So like, I'm always fascinated by that, and I feel it's a part of games that like gets sidestepped a lot by developers in terms of like audio design and music design in games. So
5 is gray.
Gray?
Or
Wow.
wait, what number did I say? I said red. I
You
said
said
red,
red,
baby. Red. Prim sees days of the week as colors. I feel voices as textures.
Ooh.
3 is red. See, he has.
Red. Okay.
It's just so cool to me, and like we'll play something. There was a game called Synesize or Synesthesia. It was on the iPad, and it went along to music as well. And your goal was to guide the ball and make it not fall off the track, all while these squares are coming at you, just like Beat Saber. The squares are coming at you and all that stuff. And yeah, it was a pretty sweet game when you were drunk.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, all that stuff is flashing at you.
Yeah.
It sounds like it'd be right up my alley as well. But like, I wish more games would do that. Not even just like throwing colors at you, but like actually like incorporating what you're doing into music, and not. I feel like a lot of music games build around current music that we already have. There's not enough of like an actual blend with audio and music and gaming all in one. So I feel like that's what Mizuguchi tried to do. He went on to make like Tetris Effect, and I love Tetris as well. So like, making a Tetris game based on synesthesia it's crazy to me, and you know, he worked magic with it, and he's like basically one of my heroes in the gaming industry just because of that.
That's crazy. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool to bank on synesthesia. You see how like the letters are colors and the numbers are colors, and
yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool across the board, and again, like that's why I'm fascinated. But I think games are like the ultimate spot, especially in VR, are the ultimate spot to like push that for other people that maybe don't experience that in general. So
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome. Sega developers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy guy. He never it's all cult stuff though. Like it never like really got him a lot of success. He also made a game called Lumines, which was like a puzzle game, which like worked on the beat of. It was like a mix of like Tetris and music as well in a sense, kind of.
No,
and
that
like
sounds
I don't know other stuff.
super familiar.
I know Jack was like a fan of me playing it like last year. Like you had to like drop blocks and you had to get like matchup 4 and all that. It was pretty cool. Again, he just does some amazing audio work like nobody else in the industry, and I kind of wish more people would like bank on it. And one of these days it'll be a success, hopefully.
Tetris Effect by Enhance. What is it called?
Lumines. It's he released a couple of versions of it. It was like released on like the PSP back in the day.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like that. So like there's like music and levels, and you have to like match up. Like there's 2 colors on each screen. You have to match them up in blocks, and then it clears out as it goes across with each beat and all that. So
that's weird.
It's great. It's really
I'm not saying it's weird bad. I'm just saying I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah. He's got an amazing mind for like designing stuff, or at least like giving other people the opportunity if he's in his different companies and all that. So he's pretty great.
Oh, 2023 Humanity. Did you see anything about this?
I haven't looked too much at it. No, I haven't. But I'm intrigued to see like what they do with it.
So it looks like there's
or what they've done with it.
Command is visually illustrated by a circle with an arrow on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a puzzle platforming game with real-time strategy elements. Each stage is a unique puzzle where the player guides humans as an ethereal Shiba Inu to a goal. The player runs around the stage with a crowd of humans mirroring their actions. The player can place actions at any point. Okay, and then it gets complicated. Mm-hmm. But release date was May 16th, 2023.
I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to have to look it up and see what it's about. Even I love discovering new stuff, and this is a great rabbit hole across the board.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, we're back in Q's. I don't need to be there.
You can stay there while I'm talking.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm good. So we're talking about puzzles and stuff. Tell me about, if you will go, Sudoku.
I grew up loving numbers a lot, so I think combining that with like puzzles like just really hit it off for me. Whenever like I had to spend some time in hospital whenever I was like 8 or 9, and my like mum would like bring me like a lot of like crossword books and that sort of like a lot of just general puzzle books like that. I think the first time I discovered Sudoku was in Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training. I think it was Brain Age. It was called in America.
I remember Brain Age.
Yeah,
DS.
It was really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you had like your daily like do your challenge and find out if your brain is 50 or 20. I used to do the Sudoku stuff and all that, and I like would like challenge myself, like beat it like really quickly. So it's a weird relaxing thing for me in that like I'm competitive with myself over it, but like it just relaxes me so much. Like it is so much fun. And I love that puzzle solving, like in general, but like this Sudoku mixing in numbers is just like it was made for me specifically. I don't know how they knew I'd love it so much, but they did. I had like so many Sudoku books growing up, and I used to like do it in pencil and then like go and hand it to someone else to rub them out and be like, "Can you rub these out so I can do them again, so I don't like see them myself if I want to do this one today?" So. Yeah, it was definitely like a big stress reliever for me in my teenage years.
Okay, so I'm about to blow your mind.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just give me 1 second. This. And this. Okay, yeah, I just want to sample it. Please just show me the fucking picture. Okay. No. Everybody go away. I just want to see a picture. Okay. So this is from Penny Del Puzzle. I don't know if you have those puzzle books at all by you. But basically this is called Anagram Magic Square. Mm-hmm. What you do is it involves words, numbers, and an itty bitty bit of math.
Okay.
You can solve the puzzle. You can solve the puzzle multiple ways, but the whole goal is that your row is and your column is going to equal 65. Okay. So you can start out, and it's an anagram. So for instance, quote is toke. I've never seen that, but like, let me see if this is a good one. Okay, this spray could be praise, and if it's praise and it starts with a P, and it matches one of these ones down here, then
You get that number in.
you get the number in at the very bottom, which it's not scrolling to right now. But at the very bottom, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 25, where you have to put the letter, and it creates a phrase or something. So you could solve it by finding what's missing in the phrase. You could solve it by going up to the number first. This is my favorite puzzle, OoRacket. I do this as much as possible.
You might have just given me a massive new time sink across the board. I feel like this is gonna like really like just like take me off. I feel like I've seen these before, but like never like seen like a book of them or whatever. So like I'm gonna have to like track these down.
Yeah, they're called Penny Dell puzzles. I don't know if they're international or not, but they do the trick. So all right, sorry, Sudoku. I didn't mean to take over.
Well, I find it interesting that another carp in chat, so I'm competing with times. I used to love competing with friends and that back in the day, so, like, you know, clearly we need to get a massive Sudoku, well, now we need to get, like, a Magic Square League going for competing as well, but, you know, you know, it's great competition. I love competing with myself, but if we can compete with other people on it, let's do it. Let's do, like, a full-on competition across the board.
I would compete with a Magic Square, 100%, because, and you could do 5-letter or 6-letter anagrams.
Ooh, okay, yeah, let's go for 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I love anagrams. I used to like. There was I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show from the UK, Countdown.
No.
So it's basically like an entire show based around anagrams. But there's also like a math section where like, so like the word section is like, you know, like there's 2 people competing every day. I'd say it's probably like as popular as like say Jeopardy is in America for like the UK and Ireland. And like, I don't know, when at the start of each round, like you say like you want a consonant or a vowel for each letter, and they pick a letter out and put it up from a board, and then you have to like you've got like 30 seconds or whatever to solve the longest word you can get from that anagram.
Okay.
And it's really fun. And then like the numbers round is like you pick a bunch of numbers, like you can go like big, middle, and small, and then they press a button and it gives you like a random like 3-digit number, and you have to like use whatever numbers are there in like 30 seconds to a minute or whatever to solve it. And it's again that quick thinking puzzle action is what I like, which is why I like competing in Sudoku. So I feel like the numbers round is probably like what has like really made me like a very competitive person, because I used to watch that every day coming home from school. So
the final round of the game is Countdown Conundrum, in which contestants are shown a combination of 2 or 3 words with a total of 9 letters. They have 30 seconds to form a single word using all the letters and must buzz in to respond. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's really great. There's really like a ton of episodes on YouTube. They ended up doing like a comedy version of it at some point as well, which is like still the main games there, but it's just surrounded by comedy bits as well. 8 out of 10 cats does Countdown, they ended up calling it, so like it's really great. Oh wow, that's so cool. That's a lot of fun. You ever see the game show Lingo?
It rings a bell. Is that the one where it's like 5 letters and you have to like? Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. I forget. They don't call it that here. They call it something else. I forget what, I think. But yeah, I've seen that. It's. I'm a big fan of it as well. So
yeah, that one is trying to figure out the letters. That's like a Wordle.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Was that started after Wordle or before Wordle?
Way before.
Way before. Okay.
Yeah, 1987 is when it started.
I feel that didn't start here until after Wordle, so like, oh well, Wordle ripped off something else. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I love that game. It's really fun, especially whenever they get like a really weird letter that they're missing out on. Like they waste like 4 guesses on it.
Yeah,
just like Wordle. It's great. It's fun watching other people mess it up instead of myself. It works out.
Absolutely. And what's it called? RuPaul is apparently the executive producer starting last year.
I'll look at the American version and see.
Yeah. It says Lingo British game show.
It is called Lingo over in Britain, okay.
And
I watch mostly British TV, so like it's what like I would know most.
Yeah, it says, when did it come out? 1988. May 12th. May 12th. Why is everything in fucking May? I swear to God.
And it was that before I was born. I guess like I don't. Maybe it finished. Is it still? I don't think it's running now. Or is?
Yeah, it said the revival as of 3rd of February 2023.
Okay, so it was this year. Okay, yeah. Or last year now. I'm not used to 2024 yet. It's gonna take some time.
Okay. So we're going back to your thing now.
Uh-huh.
Um, tell me about since we're talking about video games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about sex. Okay, let's talk about fighting game.
Fighting games. So I feel fighting games get a bad rap because people think that they're like weak. I can't play elites because I'm never going to be able to compete. I think fighting games are like the most neutral, natural game available if you want to like do competitive stuff because you can find your level eventually, especially if more people played. I'm really happy that in the last year or so there's been a revival in fighting games. So fighting games, I are probably like the first game I really remember outside of Sonic. I used to be whenever I used to live in town, I used to play like Street Fighter with my neighbor in like '93, whenever I was like 3 or 4, and just like a love grew from there. And like I remember like playing Tekken 3 at like 4 a.m. on my one and only sleepover I had as a child. And I was terrible at it. I was just button mashing, but I still had a great time. And like I don't know, I feel like I've like learned to be competent at fighting games and all that. But like the real thing I've enjoyed about fighting games is like introducing new people to it. Like a lot of my friends that never played fighting games before were always attracted to them. I think it's fun to like bring people in and show them the majesty of fighting games because it's like a natural thing of like 1v1 and you're really competing with yourself a lot of the time, which people don't seem to realize. And that is that like you can play the patient game. Everyone seems to think you have to go in and button mash. And it's like if someone knows what they're doing, like, oh, I'm going to lose immediately. But like I don't know. I think it's like gaming chess. I think is what I'm trying to say. So like it works for me on so many levels. And then there's so many different fighting games with so many styles, and it's amazing to me that like there's been so many variations of Street Fighter, and each one of them more different than the other. Even though they just make such little changes, and I don't know, they're very special to me. I love them so much. They're and everyone should get into a fight, like try a fighting game. I think
Everybody
that's
should
what I
get
think.
into a fight. Ting game.
Yeah, everyone should get into a fight. Yeah, I'm Irish. We love to fight. We're like Russell Crowe. So that's what we do in queues. Whenever we get bored, we just start fighting each other for number one, and yeah. What stays in Q Club? We don't talk about Q Club. What happens in the queue stays in the queue, and you hear that shot? Everyone get into a fight right now. Start fighting. Start some sort of club. Yeah, Jack. Are we going to start a club in Boston? Q Club. Good old Q
Oh
Club.
my
Yeah.
god. That was funny as hell. Okay, so with so Mortal Kombat, Boston is Fight Club. Yes, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Mortal Kombat, I didn't play too much of actually. That was like one that kind of passed me by. I feel like it wasn't huge in Europe. I feel Street Fighter was definitely bigger in Europe. It's always interesting to me as well because it reminds me of like Nintendo versus Sega because Nintendo was never very big here.
Right.
I feel like I never knew anyone that had like a Nintendo growing up except for like my aunt who I used to go around and play Duck Hunt on the NES on a black and white TV. I'm not that old. She just had like a TV for a long time.
My grandma's friend had one, and she wanted to hang out with her friends, so they put me in front of the TV with old Duck Hunt, and I was like,
yeah,
what the hell is this? Why is it in black and white?
Where are my colors? Why can I not see that brown dog?
Did I go blind? What is happening?
I know, yeah. You lost all synesthesia across the board. No colors. Not any color whatsoever. It's just a monochrome world across the board. But yeah, no, Street Fighter was the big one here. Street Fighter was the thing, I think. And then like I remember like another game that like came out on the Mega Drive called Eternal Champions, and I could never remember the name of it for like 25 years until I found it. And it's like a cult classic itself. I think they're actually reviving it now. With the big push they're doing, but like it was a pretty good game. I remember like I always used to describe it as the X-Men fighting game because I feel like one of the guys on the cover kind of looks like one of the X-Men, kind of. The guy in the blue there, so like it was like I remember whenever I was trying to find it on Google, I was like fighting game with X-Men cover guy that wasn't X-Men guy, and it never showed up for me. But eventually I did find it, so and realized it was apparently like really huge.
See here. Because you said that there might be a reboot.
Yeah, Sega's like remaking all their old games, or not like doing like a full-on reboot of like everything. They announced it like just at the beginning of December that they're like rebooting like everything. Basically, they're like, we're back, we're Sega, we're back. We're not doing just Sonic anymore. We're doing everything else. So I'm pretty sure that was in the list somewhere.
Sega. Okay, so fighting games, and then
Fighting games.
you have you put Sega on here or no?
I didn't put Sega. I don't think. No,
Okay.
I should have done.
Um. So you guys didn't have Nintendo, or you just it wasn't as popular?
It wasn't as popular. I don't know. I don't remember like what the price was. I feel like the N64 games were and SNES actually were probably very expensive here. Um,
They
I
were
remember like
expensive here too.
yeah. I mean, games were expensive. It's
Yeah.
funny how like they're like relatively cheaper now, even if they're still expensive. But I think I remember getting like a Sega game that was like the equivalent of like $120 back then or whatever. From I think it was a broken Christmas present. I think my family got me like a telescope or something that didn't work because I love like you know astronomy and all that, and but it didn't work. So I was like, I'll just get this Sonic game that costs a bundle. And it was the worst Sonic game. It was Sonic 3D Blast, and it was terrible.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like I remember because I got my first Sega system in 90. I think it was Christmas '93. It was actually the Aladdin pack in, so like I had like an Aladdin box from the Disney movie, and that game
Wow.
was great. But then I remember seeing like the SNES version on like a TV show, and it was like, wait, this has more colors, and I want this. But then it was so expensive, like I couldn't get it. But I don't know. I've never touched an N64. I never touched a GameCube. Like like these were just not things that I knew existed here. I knew they existed, but I never saw them like out in the wild. So
Did you
um,
ever have a Game Gear?
I didn't. I had the home version, the Master System, which was pretty much like all the same games as well. But I wanted a Game Gear, but again, it was very expensive for the time, so it was hard to like get anything. But the Game Gear was cool. I'd love a Game Gear now. Like it's very bulky, but who needs a Switch when you can have a Game Gear?
Yeah,
Um,
no. And what's funny is that my grandma and my great grandma both had Game Gears.
oh wow, really? Okay.
And they would play like slots, and they would play like all Texas Hold'em and
Yeah, yeah.
all those types of games, but then they also had Sonic on there.
I didn't have those. I had those, like oh god, what do you like Tyco? I don't know if you guys had maybe you guys had Tiger over there, was it, or something like that? Like the little like the LCD screens were like the stuff was already drawn on. You got like three animations for your
Oh,
character
yeah,
moving
yeah,
across.
yeah. I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
I
about.
used to get like slot games and that because I did love the gambling games whenever I was really young. It's how I learned poker really early. So um,
That's how I
I had
learned
those instead of
Yahtzee.
yeah.
I had a Yahtzee
It's funny,
one.
like I feel like Nintendo. The only place Nintendo had stuff here was the portable stuff. The Game Boy was pretty popular, I think, because I guess that was cheaper.
Yeah.
And because I remember I had a Game Boy Color, and then that was like, and then I had a DS, but I didn't get like a home console until the Wii came out. So
That's not
it's funny.
uncommon. I've heard that story like a lot. Like people didn't really get a Nintendo until the Wii came out.
Yeah, and then I had that, and then like I've had every Nintendo console since. So it's funny, like especially like because like Nintendo have made some of my favorite games. So like it's the only problem is they're still so expensive to go back to just because Nintendo keep the prices so high. So
Yeah,
damn you, Mister.
$70 for Zelda games and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Or like coming in and reselling 30-year-old games for like $30 at least, if not more. So
Right?
it's terrible,
And
terrible.
yet we
How dare
buy
they?
them anyway. What is wrong
Yeah,
with us?
I'm not talking about my library being full of them at that price while I'm complaining. That's not. I'm glad I can't share my library screen right now. That'd be awful. I'm not part of the problem. I swear I'm not. I'm not part of the
It's
problem at
me.
all.
Hi, I'm the problem.
Yeah,
It's me.
yeah, exactly. Oh, we
That's
ruined it
great.
for ourselves.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Oh my god. So, okay. Yeah, I just remember the Game Gear. I just remember smashing buttons because I was too young to understand what I was doing,
Yeah.
and it worked. Like
Yeah.
there's only two friggin' buttons, so it always worked.
I didn't have that look whenever I played Mario on like an original Game Boy back in like '93 or whatever. So yeah, I don't like another one I had was like the inbuilt like Tetris ones. It was like it was designed to look like a Game Boy, but like it wasn't. It was just like it only played Tetris, and that is where my love of Tetris came in as well. Was those handheld things. So I think maybe not being able to afford Nintendo actually helped me love Tetris more
Do you
not.
do
So
Tetris.io?
I do not know. I've not looked at that. I do Tetris 99 on the Switch and Tetris Effect for competitive stuff, so
Okay,
I
yeah,
need
on
to
the
look at
computer is
Tetris.io. Yeah,
tetris.io and it's the same. You play against yourself and you get all the rewards and stuff, but it goes pretty quickly.
I'm gonna have a
Um
look at that.
what was I going to say? The last thing I was going to say was Game Boy Color. Were you ever into Pokemon?
Oh, Pokemon was actually the first thing I got from it. I was huge. I remember whenever the anime first came out, that I was like, "That's the only anime I've ever actually watched is Pokemon." I've never watched
Yes.
any other anime. Well, okay, maybe Digimon as well, but Pokemon is like my one anime that I'm like, yeah, I watched that. I need to get into more anime. I've got people that are trying to get me into anime, but I was actually in hospital, and my mum went into Dublin to like get me a Game Boy. It was like I was actually the Pikachu edition, Yellow edition with Pokemon
Yeah.
Yellow, and I played the absolute shit out of that for so long. I remember just sitting in this one patch of grass, grinding up all my Pokemon to like level like 60 or something, and just like acing the game. It was a great time. And then I got into like Pokemon Gold, I think, as well, and
Yeah.
that, that's
That's pretty
that's it
much
for
where I
me.
went. I went to yellow before. I never even did red and
Yeah,
blue. I just got yellow. And then from there, I got gold. And then I never did pearl or any of that. I missed out on that.
I think I got like I think I got like diamond or crystal or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I used to always like try and wait for the ones that would combine the two into like the special edition. Um, but then I kind of stopped because like again the games became so expensive for like portable games. It was like I could spend my money elsewhere and kind of didn't. So Pokemon was great though. Again, I remember like that. Just like whenever everyone watched Pokemon, it was a great. And I remember
They
like
brought it back. My nephew watches it.
yeah, I know that they had like spoiler alert. I think they had Ash like be the grand champion or whatever like last year or the year before, finally ending his story after all these years. So
But they restarted
uh,
it.
yeah, they rebooted it and all that and kept it going. I think he's appeared a couple of times, but like that's never going to end. It's too much of a cash cow for them. They can never let it end. It's like The Simpsons; it'll go on forever and never die,
Gold,
no
silver,
matter
and
what happens.
crystal. So we had
Yeah.
gold. Then
Oh, Crystal was the gold silver
ruby,
one. Okay.
sapphire, and emerald, which I did not have.
I think Emerald was the one I got. I think that was the last one I got until like uh whatever the Hawaii one was on the
Oh
3DS.
yeah, we don't talk
Yeah.
about that one. Pokemon Diamond, Pearls, or Platinum. I didn't have that one.
hmm
And then Black and White. And then I started back again in Pokemon X and Y. And to this day, I will die in this hill. Pokemon X is my favorite. No, Sword. Is it X or Sword?
Sword is the British kind of one.
I think X is my favorite one.
Sword was on the Switch.
Yeah, then the X was my favorite one because it
Okay,
was
yeah,
on the
okay.
DS.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I own X. I've not tried it. If I do, I need to have a look at that. I think my last stage, I'd mostly like this is getting towards the point where I started getting into Pokemon Go.
Oh my
Um,
god, we had to be friends on Pokemon Go. I
oh
don't
yeah,
know if
okay.
you still play. I play all the day.
I
I
haven't
play every
played in
day.
years. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. My mum will still like if she's like collecting my brother from school or whatever. She will just like sit outside like a Pokestop or whatever and just spin that thing every
Yes.
5 minutes and that sort of stuff. And I'll still like just come back to the car while after shopping, and she'll just be sitting there like trying to catch like a Snorlax or something. I don't know. She'll be trying to do that. So
Yeah, I play
uh, I
Pokemon Go every single day.
I wanted to, but because like I live 10 miles from a town, whenever it first launched, there was like no Pokemon nearby. So
Right.
like it was like a special event, like, oh hey, we're gonna go catch Pokemon for an hour, let's go, kind of thing, which is weird to say in your mid 20s, but or late 20s or whatever it was. But yeah, we did that, and this was also back whenever like my local area had no Pokestops or anything, so we'd no way to get like anything extra. It was literally just like, oh hey, there's like a random Pokemon here because there's a built-up area. We get like maybe like 3 Pokemon a week, um,
Right.
before they actually like started padding it out.
Oh
It's
well.
still amazing. Like it was always amazing to me, like be like in this little like Irish village and all that, and just like see like all these like do they call them raids whenever like you go and attack the big thing?
Yep.
Yeah. It's always amazing to like see like just like actual people like in this middle of nowhere where like the average age is probably like 72 in the town. Just like see all these people still go and like do raids and stuff. It's crazy like how that went.
My friends go to Pokemon events.
Oh, that's so
Like
cool.
the Pokemon I don't Pokemon
Pokecon.
World, yeah, one of those. They went to Seattle, then the big one went to New York. Like they
Sick.
travel for Pokemon. They live and breathe Pokemon.
That's so cool.
So I was like, everybody needs a hobby, and
Yeah,
that's
I
just
mean, there's worse things than Pokemon. You know, they could spend their time in queues instead. They probably do at the Pokecon. So
they
like,
do.
yeah. See, look, they're living the best life.
Bringing
Pokemon and
it back
queues.
around. Let's do
Yeah,
this. Pokemon.
that's all I do is we'll just talk
Pokemon
about
Q.
queues all night.
Pokemon,
Yeah, Pokemon.
Q U. Wait, hold on. Wait. Q R and S. Pokemon Q R and S, and Q is spelled Q U E U.
Mhm.
Yes, Q R and S.
Wasn't there like a Pokemon called Cubone or something like that? We could
Yeah,
get Cubone
Cubone.
involved. Yeah. We can get
Just
Cubone
like
involved somehow as well.
Cubones.
Yeah. Rest your Cubones. We get to sit down for a few minutes.
Oh my god. Yes.
They need a special shiny Cubone that you only collect in queues at Pokecon. That's what they need. If they don't do that already, Pokemon Company, Nintendo, whoever runs all that stuff, hire me. I'm great at branding. I work really well. Carp, don't tell me to pay the pun tax. How dare you?
This is a pun tax free channel. So
Yeah, no pun tax here. Yeah. Exactly.
Let's talk about one of my favorite games.
I wanted to put this on here because I knew we could probably have like a great discussion about it because I know
Yeah.
we kind of talked about it over at my place already, but
Over at your place. I was there for
yeah, you came around, you know, I gave you a cup of tea. It was a great time. We sat down and we discussed like if Steve was a good guy or a bad guy. I love Pokemon. My brain's frazzled. I love Minecraft.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who is still probably not like deep in it in terms of stuff. And that's what's great about it. You can like, I have a friend that just started playing last week because I've started running a realm in Bedrock. And you know, she's come in and she started playing on the Switch and all that. And like within a couple of days, she'd already built this really cool house that looks better than anything I ever built in a decade of Minecraft. So, but like, it's pretty amazing to me that people can still come in and like have fun with it. Like that game is like one of the most perfect games of all time because it has everything. You can live the life of a farmer if you want, or you can go and do all this other stuff. So it's not. I love Minecraft, and I feel like right now is the most I've ever loved it as well. So I'm having a great time with it.
Yeah, Galloway, welcome on in.
Hey, Galloway.
I love reading 140 million active players as of 2023.
It's crazy. It's crazy how still popular it is. Like it's crazy. Like if you like even post anything Minecraft on social media or even on Twitch, like people still will flock to it, like just randomly because they're still looking for like random places to watch Minecraft stuff. It's
absolutely
it's
and it came out in 2011. Now my husband was a part of the original alpha or beta, one of the two. And so he's astonished at what it's become now, especially with all the new updates, frogs and you know, mangrove trees, and now the cherry blossom trees. And
I heard they're bringing like a roguelike dungeon thing into it now in the next few months and stuff. So like, you know,
there's
really
going to be a new enemy or something.
Yeah, and they're bringing in penguins, I think, or something too at some point or whatever. Yeah, so
I'm like, you guys can stop. Like, we're good with the original. I'm happy. Make it an expansion or a free expansion, but make it an expansion because I'm good with the base game.
All I'll ask of them is, in my current world that I started, it's just nothing but jungle biomes. I would kindly ask them to like cut down on the jungle biomes a bit.
Yeah,
that will suit me. It's just non-stop jungle at the moment for me. So. But I don't I've only got into Minecraft properly in the last 2 years, I would say, as myself. I did play it like a decade ago on the Xbox, and it works fine on controller, but it's not perfect. You know, it's a bit slower and a bit harder. But like I remember, like I never learned to do anything in it because like I already popped in when my friend had already built like a massive sky base and stuff. So like they gave me everything. It's like, well, here, go and look after the crops, and I'm like, okay.
I guess you know. Thank you for giving me like platinum armor. You can't platinum, but like diamond armor. Yeah.
Like you should have set me out into the world instead of like coddling me. Now I became like a mama's boy for this friend and all that because like I couldn't look after myself.
Right.
I didn't even learn that until like 2 years ago. But like I remember like it wasn't until 2 years ago that I did my first accidental diamond disappearance by using a stone pickaxe on diamond, and just watching it
Oh
disappear.
my god. That
Um,
hurts my soul.
it's always a good ride. I assume you had it happen to you, right? That you saw, or did you go in knowing that you needed to use iron
I
to get
knew
diamond?
I knew about iron. I didn't touch it until I got into the iron world, but that's because I had
Uh,
Galvos with me. I you
right,
know.
yeah, sure, yeah. I'm very jealous of that because, like, again, my friend that got into it last week, I think it was just like yesterday, just like mined diamond and wondered why it disappeared or whatever. So, um, it still happens. It still happens to this day of people going through that rite of passage of missing out on the diamond and all that. But like, Payne and chat, like he started a Java server, I've got a Bedrock server and all that, and we're like just playing around in Minecraft still, and it's such a fun, relaxing time. Payne likes going around and completing maps. I just get lost trying to strip mine a lot. I love strip mining. It's great.
Yeah, it's so relaxing. So, Galvos is the builder. I build
Okay,
blocks. I build block houses. They go in a square,
same.
and so they have window like a window on each, and then a door that you could see through. Is best if you
Yeah,
if I can, like acacia or
it's
something.
functional. Why do you need it to look good? It's
Right.
functional.
Because downstairs in the mine is where I'm doing all the good work,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
doing the
you're
Lord's work
getting the
down
goods.
there.
Exactly. Yeah, you're getting the goods for everybody else to like do good stuff with. And you don't need no land monument because you're the true master of the server doing all the important stuff. So
And what's
I
funny is
feel
that
that.
I used to be the map girl. I used to
Oh, okay.
I used to go around and try to complete maps and all that. Now it's just too friggin' complicated. I don't like doing it
Hmm.
anymore. Um,
We've been doing maps the last couple of nights. We actually died just last night
mm,
getting a map completed. Payne and I went and I ended up dying twice because we fell down a cavern. It was in the desert area, and a husk zombie came along, and we were trying to get back after completing the map. And we kind of ended up going back to like a crevice, a massive cliff down into between two mountains and all that, into a massive cave. And I was like, I forget exactly what happened. Payne ended up dying first because I think like he thought he could jump across. Was that it? It was pretty traumatic. Payne. It was pretty traumatic. And then I'm like, okay, I tried to get down and get his stuff, so I had a bucket of water ready to go down, but I peeked over the edge to see if I was able to go down. And next, a husk zombie comes up behind me and knocks me in, and I just go splat on the ground about 30 paces from where Payne died. And yeah, you were pushed. Yeah, it was pretty horrendous. So like, my other friend that was playing Blair and Payne both got my stuff into a chest because he got back before me because I was panicking and all that.
right.
I got back, picked up all my stuff, then taking the waterfall out. I had no food except for beets that I got. I'd never eaten beets in the game before. I didn't realize they didn't give you much hunger replenishment.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm like looking at my hunger thing, like, is this even going up on a meaningless? And while I'm holding spacebar to go up and looking at my health bar, my hunger bar, my head I think hits like the thing up above, and I fall out of the waterfall and die again, right in the same spot as before, basically. So I have to make the trek all the way back again from spawn, all
Oh
the way
my
west to get
god.
it all. And
That is traumatic.
yeah, lost 25 levels that night. It was.
That's traumatic.
Yeah,
25
and that's the sort of
levels.
stories you can't really get in many other games. It's
I
such a good time.
agree. And like my friend Becca and I, we went to 15,000 by 15,000,
Yeah.
and just to try to look for, I forgot what we were looking for. We just wanted to explore. She's the one who gets me out of my comfort zone. My phrase is always going to be, we're going to die, we're going to die, we're going to die, we're going to die. And she's always like, shut up. So,
Yeah.
but we go exploring and we find a whole bunch of stuff, and she will go into some caves, and I'll be like, maybe we shouldn't go in that cave. Like, I'm that guy. I'm the Chucky Finster of
Sure.
the
Oh,
whole
Chucky, I love
situation.
Chucky.
Of the whole situation. She's the Tommy Pickles. Like,
Yeah. She's leading you in there, and you're like the faithful companion that doesn't want to be there, but is just because you love Tommy so much.
right. That's it.
Yeah. I like going out once I've got a good bow. I'm a big fan of like archery in the game.
I love
I'm a big
archery.
fan of fishing. I'm basically the fisherman because you get good stuff from it really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I fish up all the enchantment books, and like I've got a bow now that has like flame 1, power 5 and all, and like infinity, and I'm
Infinity.
breaking 3.
You have to get
And
infinity. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hate that you can't have mending and infinity. I get why. It would make it way too easy. I fully get why,
Right.
but like, with the way I fish, it's like, oh, I could probably make up like a bunch of bows pretty quickly, so it
Right.
works. And then you get your XP quickly as well with fishing. So fishing is the secret to good Minecraft play.
I even in the current game, I'm fishing right now.
Yeah, that's how
That's
we do it.
just what I like to do.
It's great. It's a relaxing time, just sitting there waiting for the bubbles to come and tickle your rod and then pull it back and have a great time. I love Minecraft so much. It's great.
It's funny that you say that you didn't like controller and that you prefer to play PC because I grew up on controller and so
Okay.
I only know how to play Minecraft on controller. What's
Yeah.
crazy is that I go from the Switch to the Xbox and the
Yeah.
controls are kind of different. And so I end up trying to jump and I crouch.
Yeah.
And I end up trying to crouch and I jump.
I have a friend that plays Xbox, Switch, and PC, and they played like all in a couple of hours. They switch between the three. I don't know how they do it. I really don't
No.
know how they do it, but I hate the Nintendo thing of having the A and B in opposite directions of the Xbox controller. It really messes with my brain. And
Yeah.
um,
The X and Y are inverted. So the X and Y are always
yeah,
the same, but the A and
yeah,
B is always crouch or jump. Like those are
yeah,
your
yeah.
options.
Because like what A is go forward is go back on Switch, but it's like go forward on Xbox or something, isn't it? And it's like it's all
A is jump
jumbled up.
and B
Yeah.
is crouch.
But I mean, like in the menus, like it's swapped as well. I think, isn't it? Like where it's
Oh
like
yeah, you
like
can swap it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it is a pain. I know it's a pain. It drives me nuts with going back and forth, especially like if because I play the Switch occasionally, but like I get messed up on so many games because of the way they mess it around. So,
Mhm.
um, and you don't want to be like accidentally like crouching if you're trying to like jump over something. I mean, like, at least if you crouch, you won't fall off. But I guess if you try and jump and then like if you're trying to jump away from something and then you crouch in front of it and it shoots you, it's not a great time.
No. No, it's not. But it's funny because I love archery too, so
Yeah,
that's where it's at for me because I don't have to go into caves and I could be a scaredy cat from a big old distance and everybody
yeah,
cheers.
exactly. And then you can get like a healing bow or whatever, like healing arrows and heal your friends. You can be the real, again, just like the strip mining, you're the real master of everything. So,
Exactly.
works out great.
Let's talk about the metaverse.
Oh God. I was debating between the metaverse and AI stuff in general these days, but the metaverse drives me nuts because I feel it's really destroyed a lot of VR things in terms of how people see VR and all that. Like, and not just VR stuff. Like, I mean, like, going back with the metaverse stuff. Like, whenever you consider stuff like Second Life and Habbo Hotel over the years, and how like people tried to be like, oh yeah, well this is the future of like, because I remember like radio reports in like 2007 of like, well, this person just made like $100,000 in a month because they made a design that got sold in a shop in Second Life, and that kind of stuff. And I feel like just I hate that the metaverse has become such a buzzword over the last number of years, and as like just like it feels like it's ruining tech. And I remember like all the original Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 talk back in computer class in school and stuff, and just the metaverse drives me nuts. And it's like one of my main pet peeves of the modern world is having like that talk of oh yeah, we're all going to be in like virtual offices in the future, or like even if we're in our offices, like everything's going to be like like either AR goggles, or we're going to be like sitting at a desk with a VR headset on looking at a fake computer. I hate it. I hate the idea of that. And I hate how like everyone's pushing that because they just want to advertise in your face all the time. So I feel the metaverse is going to destroy the world if it gets ahead. But I don't. It'll never catch on, I don't think. And just the damage it's done to VR, because like VR, like I know I love VR so much, and from both a gaming perspective and like an actual like communication perspective as well and stuff, and other like accessibility things. And I feel like the damage that the metaverse has done to like how people see VR, from what Zuckerberg was talking about with different things whenever he set up Meta, kind of really fucked me off a lot.
Yeah.
It really it's just a thing that grinds my gears. I hate that whole like Silicon Valley thing as well, of like finding the latest buzzword to like piggyback off, and then whenever like they realize, oh, it's not working because really we picked a terrible thing, that they move on to the next thing after leaving a barren wasteland behind them of broken tech that could have
Yeah.
worked so well. So yeah.
Interesting. So you like VR, but you don't like the
Yeah.
metaverse.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I like the idea of certain parts of the metaverse. Like, I used to take part in Habbo Hotel a lot. I don't know if you ever did any Habbo Hotel yourself or whatever. I used to like building out like rooms and that, and like having people pop in. Like, I like that idea of the metaverse, but I feel like just once you get the the corporations coming in and like trying to like monetize it, like again, I
Got
guess it's
it.
just like a capitalism thing, like it kind of ruins things, and it kind of ruins how promising that tech can be over having that communication space and what VR can be used for, both from an entertainment and like a productive thing in life, and what they try and turn it into in terms of like, well, we picture basically the Matrix. It's a lot of people that have like watched the Matrix too much and think that that's how things should be, and that we all need to be batteries plugged in, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
I can agree that the monetization of the paywall, the monetization
Hmm.
of it, just like you said, $130,000 because of skin in
Yeah,
Second
yeah.
Life. You know what I'm saying? Like that shouldn't
But
happen.
and then you see it happen on like games like Fortnite and that these days, right? As well, like Fortnite has become part of the metaverse, right? Because like they're bringing all these IPs in together, and it's like, oh hey, this month you can buy Peter Griffin or whatever, and spend money there. And I feel like that is not what the metaverse should be. It's weirdly, because I don't know if you ever heard the movie Food Fight, which was it's all about like mascot. It's supposed to be about like food mascots, and like I don't know, Mr. Clean's in there and other like mascots. It's a terrible movie. I only heard of it recently because Muller Karp and Eripu and that like showed it to me, and
Is
whatever
this
else.
it?
But like it kind of reminds me of that, of like having like all that combined for like ruining what it should be, because they want to push brands on your face, right? And they want to like make sure that their brand is the brand that you see if you're doing something technologically advanced or whatever, and I feel like Food Fight weirdly mixes into that somehow. Oh, you weren't there. That's right, I forgot. Sorry, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Food Fight's a completely different thing. It's a rabbit hole to go down itself.
Yeah.
Um, because like, well, I think they lost the film like just before it released, like the actual like animation, so they had to quickly redo the animation, and now it looks like a storyboard because they had to
Yeah.
push it out because like there was a huge budget to it, and like it had a big voice cast. It's got like Charlie Sheen and stuff in it, so like it's
Hilary Duff, Eva Longoria. Yeah.
yeah, and like
Wayne
it made no
Brady.
money. Yeah, it made no money at the box office because it was that terrible. The animation is just so stilted because they had to like quickly rush it together. It looks like a film or like an animation student's first project in like the first semester, kind of,
Yeah.
because they rushed it that quickly. So, but I don't know. That movie just reminds me of the metaverse somehow and what people wanted to turn it into. So,
Interesting.
hmm
So then, so then, what is this about?
I love specifically the emails for advanced fee scans. I love them. Like oh, I'm like Al Gore's secretary, and we want to give you like $40 million if you give us like $50. I just love getting those emails so much because I love reading them. They are ridiculous. I think my favorite one I ever got was like a couple of years ago, and I wish I saved it, but it was like, this is the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. We're kind of trying to get rid of some money. Could we like give you like $20 million? Please get in contact with us. So like they're terrible things in the bottom, because like they send them out to people to try and like catch like vulnerable people that won't know the difference and think these are real, right? Because
Right.
they want to send you money and all that. So they're terrible in that aspect. But I like reading the emails myself, because it's like kind of just like, it's just ridiculous seeing these people being like, yeah, I'm this famous, I'm Bill Gates. Would you like $1 billion? Get in contact with me. Oh, you need to pay like send me money via Western Union to pay for the check. Uh, Kind of deal. So I don't know. I love getting those emails. I will go through my spam email folder just for these emails. Like, it's the only reason I open my spam email folder, just to see like if I get anything interesting. If I see a name I know, I'm just like, yes, let's go. I finally got another one. They're not like as varied as they used to be, but
No, I haven't seen one in a while, but because I still have my AOL account that I've had since I
yeah,
was 7 years old. So it's been around the block. Like it's a
yeah,
known email. You search on like my life, and it's like email address for Amanda is such and
yeah, yeah.
such, and you're just like, oh well, all right, fine. Luckily, that's my backup email. But regardless, the one
hmm
that's going around now is um, your UPS package is now in
yeah.
transit and it's
I get
stuck
that
at the
here.
facility please click here, and it's a text message.
Yeah, that always comes through for me as well now. It's like it's UPS and God, what's the? I think that we get FedEx, even though like FedEx isn't that used that much here. It's still here, but like I feel like I've only ever had like one delivery from FedEx. But like they cast that net out wide, and if like 2 or 3 people get back to them, like that's a lot of chunk of change that they can get, right? So like it's worth it for them. But and again, that's the terrible part of it. And I wish like there was a way to like help protect those vulnerable people, just so I can enjoy the emails a lot easier from it. But I'm looking to see like if I've got like any emails now. I'm getting one constantly where it's like your Amazon Prime has run out. Please click here is like what I'm getting constantly now. FedEx. We have tried to contact you. Your package is waiting you. Your package is stored in our warehouse. You have one package waiting for you in our warehouse, ready for delivery. Use your order number to track and receive your package.
Click
it's like
here.
And it's like name here. It says in the spot for where the name should be. So they didn't bother filling in the name or anything, and that is like that's just crazy to me. But like I know people will fall for it as well. On Twitter, there's like a thing going around similar where like on Instagram as well, where like especially in the wrestling area, where like there'll be like fake accounts of female wrestlers, mostly female wrestlers, there's female wrestlers as well. But like it'd be like, hey, I'm such and such a famous wrestler that's on national television every week. I would like to be your friend. And then they like befriend people and they're like, oh, I missed my connecting flight or bus to the next venue. Could you forward me $250 to help me get to that? And there was actually a famous thing on WWE like last year or the year before where a guy jumped out of the crowd and attacked one of the main guys because he was like, you owe me money. I gave you this money and you won't even talk to me, because he'd actually like gave a fake wrestling account like thousands of dollars thinking that this like that these people paid like millions were like asking for like a couple of hundred to get a bus. Which again is the terrible side of taking like that vulnerable person, right? That like will fall for that and like just ruining lives.
Seth Rollins, is that the wrestler or the person?
No, Seth Rollins was the wrestler. Like got attacked by someone from the crowd. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's crazy, and again, like it's a terrible thing to have, and it's a shame. I mean, that's why they make it so stupid, right? Because like they know that like if someone actually replies seriously, they know that they're probably like that vulnerable that they can like take advantage, right? That's why they make it stupid.
Yeah. Wow.
That's why they make it like Bill Gates will get through. So
yeah, wow. OoRacket wants to protect people from their scams so he can take all their money with an elaborate Eurovision phishing scheme.
Yeah. I need everyone to send me money to go to Eurovision. It's totally. I missed my connecting flight. Please forward to my Western Union address.
And I'm trying to get to Boston, but it's actually for Eurovision.
Yeah.
Jack's
gonna
send
be
me
so
money.
Yeah. He's gonna be so upset whenever like I don't show up in March and like Mother of Carp's there waiting for me to get off the plane and all that, and it's just like, where is he? And then this beard isn't real. My name is actually Raquel from Mexico, so you're never.
I still have your credit card, he says.
Damn it! I forgot about that. See, I got outfished by Jack. This is.
Jack is the real fisherman.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Jack. Oh. So that's why I keep getting those emails. Oh God. Oh no. I'm scared. I need to contact my bank manager.
Oh God, that's funny. That's a good nightcap on that. All right, so tell me about Most Haunted.
Oh, right. Okay. So I'm not a very I'm very skeptical whenever it comes to paranormal stuff, but Most Haunted is like one of the best shows I ever used to watch all the time. It was running for years, but eventually they did like Most Haunted Live at some point, which is the first time I came across it. And I fell in love with it. So basically it's like, it's like an average ghost hunting show, but it's very British about it and all that. So you've got like a husband and wife run it basically, and they get like a psychic in, but they'd also have like a skeptic, like an actual skeptic in, and they'd have like a crew going around and like, the usual setting up cameras and all that. The live versions that they do live on TV were great. They actually became like probably one of the biggest shows in this part of the world for a couple of years.
Wow.
Because like it was just like everyone loved them so much, and I enjoyed the drama of it. You know, like seeing these guys go at like because it used to end at midnight, so it was like always funny to me. Where like like the they'd have it was obviously fake because they'd like ramp up the stuff and all that. And then as it gets closer to midnight, it's like suddenly like dust appears on the camera. Like, is that a ghost? What's going on here? And then one of the production crew in the background throws a light bulb on the ground, and everyone starts screaming. And then like it's like, oh well, we're out of time. Come back tomorrow for the second live episode as we figure out if they're alive or dead. It was like a weird Scooby Doo thing and all that. But it was like it was just fascinating to watch, especially like whenever like you'd have people text in and be like, I'm sure a lot of people were trolling at the time, but like you'd still have people that'd be like, like, yeah, I think I saw a ghost on like camera 2 at like 3 or like 9:14 p.m. if you go back and look. And then like the host would be like, yeah, we're gonna go back and look and like bring you the results if we see it. And you'd never hear anything of it ever again. And that it was like, but it was still fascinating to watch. And one of my favorite moments is, well, there's a couple of favorite moments. One is the much memed moment. So the main psychic for a long time was Derek Akora.
Okay.
So two main moments happened to him that I remember a lot. So the skeptic once said to the psychic, he was like, oh, hey, or I think he said it to a producer in front of whenever Derek was like having like lunch or something. I forget exactly how the story went. I just know that like he said, oh yeah, there was like a South African prisoner here called Creed Kafer that was like died all these years ago. So I'm interested to see if that pops up. I think it was something like that. The main thing is Creed Kafer is an anagram of Derek Faker. Later on that night, Derek, you said, oh, I sensed the spirit of a Creed Kafer. So like the guy had set it up for like Derek Faker to say that like on live TV like, oh, he fully faked all this and all that. Instead of getting rid of the psychic, they got rid of the skeptic, I think, or something.
Oh my
or
gosh.
maybe which is fun. And then like I think the other main moment that Derek is known for is whenever like they were doing a live show and he just starts screaming like, oh, I sense a spirit called Mary. She really misses Dick. Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick. And he just kept screaming Mary loves Dick over and over again. And it's kind of a very special moment for everyone that was watching at that point, because like it was like he got really into it, and it was great.
Oh my God. So he was trolling, is what I'm hearing.
I think so. I mean, a lot of them would be, yeah, but like he was definitely the most famous psychic in like this part of the world for like a long time, just because of this show, and we get like a lot of gigs based off that. I think he went to like Celebrity Big Brother at some stage, or
it said
other
that
stuff.
He passed in 2020.
Yeah, he died back then. So a lot of the memories came back, and a lot of people posted the Mary Loves Dick clip around the world.
Oh God! So. And his memory. That's what he gets after he dies.
Yeah. All this stuff have been like he had his own like, oh God, is it John Edwards? Was he like the main psychic in America?
Yeah.
He did a similar like show, but like he'd surround like a circle of people and be like, I'm getting a sense of an M, that kind of psychic show for TV and all that. So you do that kind of thing all the time, based on the back of this. So, but yeah, Mary Loves Dick is probably what I remember him most for. So that's what his life has boiled down to, is saying Mary Loves Dick a lot. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then like I think the last show I watched, I remember the husband. So I think he was the executive producer of the show, was like, I'm going upstairs alone with this camera to see what's going on. And they had webcams dotted around, and he suddenly started screaming like, oh, I just found a knife on the bed. Oh my God, a ghost left it here. You could see on the webcam that they had live on the TV that he actually, as soon as he walked into the room, he threw the knife himself on the bed and stuff. And like I think that was like around whenever like people were like, yeah, okay, we're tired of this.
Yeah.
So they got very desperate to keep it going, because like the fad died down after a number of years. So I think they still post videos on YouTube because like TV channels stopped showing it. But,
yeah, that's what it said, that it's on YouTube.
Yeah. But it was a special time. It's like my favorite time of my life. And like I don't believe in anything supernatural now. Back then I was kind of like, maybe if I was shown evidence, but like now it's like, whatever. But like, it was still, I didn't believe any other stuff, but it was the most entertaining thing. And I love that sort of ghost hunting thing. You know, give me drama, and I will watch anything. This is like my biggest guilty pleasure, I think, in television history. So
Yeah.
it's really great.
So, wow, you have some really interesting and eclectic television watching.
Yeah, I I used to watch like a lot, like especially because like whenever after I came out of the hospital for a while, I had a lot of TV to watch. So like
Yeah.
I it's like my music taste. I think like I just like would watch like a lot of different things. So you know, I used to watch like a lot of reality TV as well, like with Big Brother and all that. Big Brother was like a big fave of mine, and I don't know, I like a lot of different things. So
Let's talk
Don
about
Bluth.
Don Bluth.
He is probably the guy that shaped all my love of animation, and a lot of like whenever I did art, he shaped like a lot of like what I wanted to do with art and all that, and where it went, and probably shapes like what I love from like not just animation movies, but like films in general. You know, I think the first Don Bluth movie I saw was American Tail 1, and I was fascinated by it. I thought the animation was great. Feifel Mouskowitz is like a legend. I always wanted to get his hat whenever I was a child. I always wanted to like just like wear the same hat as him, but like you know, between that and Secret and Nymph, and I think like he worked on like a lot of Disney movies like Robin Hood, which I loved, and I think Pete's Dragon, which was like another thing. I love like live animation mixed with like live action, or like
Yeah.
animation mixed with live action stuff. So like Pete's Dragon, Roger Rabbit, and all that. So like having him work on like all that stuff, and then go on and do these like amazing movies. I remember like All Dogs Go to Heaven as well was like another big one for me growing up, and oh god, what's the other one that he did? My name's or the name's drawing a blank. The big second movie that he did after American Tail.
We've got Robin Hood. We've Prince John.
American Tail. Oh yeah, he did the thing with Prince John. That was him animating the Robin Hood section. Yeah, he did the Rescuers too. I love the Rescuers. I think any movie with an animal in it was like big for me, both animated and live action. Air Bud, I used to watch a lot of as well. But like
Yeah, Peach Dragon.
Pete's Dragon, yeah.
He
That's
did,
whenever he still worked at Disney. He
did
then
the
went on and
Land
did like
Before
stuff.
Time?
Land Before Time. That's it. That's it, Galloway. Yeah, Land Before Time is the other one I'm thinking of. So like, you know, again, all these movies that he did that like just like shaped a lot of like my childhood. Land Before Time is a very special movie. I'll still like never forget like the star tree leaves falling and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
So like he just had this amazing vision and like amazing stories that felt like I guess like more real and like a lot of Disney stuff, you know, like it's still like sentimental and emotional, but like it wasn't like as like campy, I guess, as Disney. And I still love Disney, you know, like Disney was great. I love like a lot of Disney stuff, but like there was just something I connected more with Don Bluth, with both the animation and the stories that like just really suckered me in. So
Yeah.
I think I watched like Land Before Time like 3 times a day for over a particular summer. I loved it so much. You can't forgive him for Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair is great, Jack. I'm gonna have to like just like play Dragon's Lair with you in Boston. Yeah.
American Tail, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
All Dogs Go to Heaven. Such a good movie.
I
remember Throne in Central Park. I always used to see a video, like an advert for that on VHSs before like certain movies. I was like, I never was able to find it, so I don't think I've ever seen it. So I need to like look that up one day.
Anastasia. I did not
Anastasia.
know. Anastasia.
Anastasia.
I watched that movie like 3 times a day.
Bartok is such a great character. Again, he did great animals in movies, but I loved Anastasia. It's so good.
Yeah, and the Simpsons movie?
Did he do something in that?
Yeah, so Titan A, the last tradition animated film in theaters since the release of 2007 The Simpsons movie.
Okay, right. Oh, the last Fox one, yeah. So he worked in Titan A. Titan A is like the last main one that I remember him doing. And yeah, he wanted to bring back Dragon's Lair and yeah. Oh, Carp has that on VHS. Ooh, Carp, we need to do it.
Launched a new animated studio called Don Bluth Studios. Aesop's Fables and Nursery Rhymes. The studio's productions are live streamed and then uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I like a lot of the musical numbers as well are in this stuff like really resonates with me. Somewhere Out There from American Tail that ended up being like used in like Community and stuff in the future in the TV show Community.
Yeah,
like just there's so much that sticks with me from those movies that like they're very special, and they'll always be special to me. And like again, like that's kind of why I got into art. I feel like I based a lot of like some of my owl drawings. I did like a project on owls whenever I was like 14 or 15
Hmm.
at school, and like that was like I feel like I based some of my like animation design on the stuff that like led from his things. So
Hmm. That's awesome. I mean, I knew the movies and stuff existed, but I didn't know the man behind them.
he's pretty great for like what he was involved in and stuff, and really set off a lot of good things. Um, I think like if it wasn't for him, I probably would have been just a Disney kid. I think he was like definitely what opened me up to like, oh, there's like more than just
The-
watching the Disney Channel or movies and that. So
And it's so funny how much like Anastasia gets confused with Disney and like all this other stuff. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's the same with like some of his stuff because like a lot of his like movies like were very similar to like something like the Black Cauldron from Disney, like you know the darker vibe kind of and that kind of thing. And I think a lot of people always, I think I've heard people say that Fern Gully, like that wasn't a Disney movie, but like I remember like people saying that Fern Gully was like a Don Bluth movie, which I think it was like an Australian thing actually. But like, you know, he was definitely like the main guy. I think like taking on Disney for a long time after he left Disney. So
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for making me learn about that. That was
no,
making
no
me.
problem.
I was held under my will.
Exactly. Yeah. Such a good movie.
Okay, so now we've got Rover Dangerfield.
So speaking of animation growing up, so whenever I talk about not watching just Disney movies, Rover Dangerfield is the most ridiculous movie I can think of as a child. So you know Rodney Dangerfield, the comedian?
Yeah.
The movie's just essentially him playing a dog that has a tie, walks on two legs, does the whole like I get no respect thing, and just like it's just crazy that like this is him in like a cartoon form of like you know he starts off the movie with a dog gambling with showgirls around him and stuff, and then like he just goes out into a farm and has like weird things for a while, and like I think he fully like screenplayed the movie and all that as well, so like it was a full thing. And they really wanted them to like, be like a big hit from it. And I just remember having this on VHS and being like, I don't know why I love this, but I do, and I still don't really know why I love it. But like, it's just one of those memories, like you know, like those movies like when you grew up watching, where like this is terrible, but I kind of really like it, you know, that kind of thing. So like that was that movie for me very early on. And again, put an animal in a movie and I will watch it,
Yeah.
even to this day. You know, even to this day, I will watch anything with an animal in it, no matter how bad it is. Yeah, Harold Ramis was involved. Galloway. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How many people signed off on this project?
Too many. You know, money laundering and all that. I'm not saying that that's what this was, but it's a possibility. There's a chance. There's a chance. I think that like they really did want to turn it into like you know make it like a TV cartoon to syndicate afterwards as well, from the way it was based and the way they marketed it. You know, they wanted to like make it like its own series and stuff. I guess like Rodney probably wanted to like get like you know, this is how I'm gonna like make bank in the '90s by having like a character that I can play and voice and not have to go on tour or whatever he had to do. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember being a big fan of Rodney growing up as well. Like his movies were always played on TV here. So like I remember one particular movie, Ladybugs. I think it was Ladybugs, where like he's the coach of a thing of a girls football team, soccer team. But I don't know. It really played to my childhood love of weird comedy and dogs and
Yeah.
dogs that
And
act like people.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you hate cassette tapes?
I feel they're a waste of time. Like, you know, the quality's not always good, especially in commercial releases compared to like vinyl and CD. It's not always perfect. Like, and you need like a really good tape deck. But like, what's really annoyed me recently is like I'm a big fan of like buying like collector's editions of albums and that kind of thing. You know, that would like normally come with vinyls and something cool and all that. But I feel like they're just like padding them out with like cassette tapes these days, and it's like I just don't see the reason for them at all anymore, outside of a nostalgia point of view. And I detest them greatly for that because I think it's just I don't know. I don't have good memories of them either, probably because maybe I had bad tapes over here, tapes and tape decks or something. But like, just I feel it's a waste of time whenever they could like put something so much better in, and they're like, oh hey, here we'll give you like this nostalgia trip to like the 80s and 90s with this, but here pay a premium for it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ruined collector's edition stuff for me. So
Did you have a Walkman?
I had a Sony Walkman, exactly that. Yeah, I fully played into that. So I had a Walkman, and I think my other main memory of cassette tapes is my Walkman and also the Talk Boy that was advertised in Home Alone. I had one of those too, so
Yeah.
like that's what I did a lot of with my cassette tapes was that. So it's an auto reverse deck. I see White Gray talking about stuff in chat, so I got distracted for a
No, that's
second.
fine. Blank cassette tapes are good for recording the radio back in the day. I remember doing that.
Yeah,
I had a little cassette player. It had a handle. It was yellow, and it had a big red button for record.
yeah, yeah.
And you put it in, and you just, I remember it was like J Lo and um Sean. No, I got this. I could do
Shawn
this.
Mendes.
No, this is back.
No.
This is back, back, back.
Oh, back. Okay. Oh,
I
Sean
can't remember.
Paul.
Yeah, no.
No, it wasn't Sean Paul.
Do,
No.
he's I can't think his name, but he
You
says
can picture
his name.
him, but you can't say
He
the name.
says his freaking name, and I can't think of him.
It's not like Ja Rule or something, is it?
It might be Ja Rule. It might be Ja Rule. I'm gonna just look that up really quick.
Go for it, yeah.
I think, and anyway, that's the song. Lopez and Ja Rule. I'm Real. And it released in 2001.
Wow. That was probably ever. I think my last cassette that I bought that I remember is Bon Jovi. It's My Life. Is the one I remember. I think last, and I hated the audio on that because it played slow. Because I think my tape deck was like wearing out, so it played slightly slow, so it sounded weird to me. Which I didn't like, which probably colors why I hate cassettes, but like mostly it's taking up space. I remember my first cassette tape that I forced my family to go and get was like Mr. Blobby, which was like a TV character from the UK. It was the Christmas song that he did in like 1992.
Oh my
93.
god, that is nightmare fuel.
Yeah,
What
I love
the
him because he was
hell?
a big slapstick guy. So he was like the main mascot of like the Saturday night TV show on the BBC in the UK, and he would like essentially like he'd be used to prank celebrities and like come up and like throw cake in there or like cream pies in their face or whatever, that kind of thing, and that kind of stuff. So Mr. Blobby is look at those polka dots and his smile on his face. He'd literally just go blobby blobby blobby, and that was it. He's a hero. So his Christmas song, though, I made my family go all the way across the border to Northern Ireland to buy the cassette tape for me with his Christmas song that he did. And yeah, it's a very interesting. It's just basically like it's just him saying Mr. Blobby over Christmas sleigh bells, and then there's like some woman that does like a rappy song part kind of ish. It's not too rappy, but like it's got a flow to it, and that's basically it. Look at that cover art; it's great. It was so great in a cassette.
Okay, that cover art is fine. This
Uh-huh.
outfit is nightmare fuel.
But you can give him a big hug because he's all like big and blobby. He's Mr. Blobby.
His
He's
eyes
great.
are focused in different directions like a
Yeah,
horse.
they're googly eyes. Who doesn't love googly eyes? I mean, like we need. I think they were googly eyes if I remember correctly. Maybe they weren't, but do you not like his big eyelashes as well? Like that he's got going on.
I have no words. I just think that we should talk about we have 8 minutes, so I'm gonna pick one more
Okay.
dislike. So we're gonna do I'm curious about this because you're gonna teach me something.
Okay.
So give me the leaving certificate.
So, oh boy, right, the leaving certificate. So I've got like a lot of opinions on like educational systems in general, but the leaving cert is basically for me, they're kind of changing it because they know it's too stressful, but like it's like a shared traumatic event between every child in Ireland growing up. I still have nightmares about it to this day. I did my leaving cert in 2007, so like a decade and a half later, every summer I will have a nightmare about being unprepared for leaving cert. And I know people like have like nightmares, but like not. Oh, I'm not prepared for this exam today and all that. That's fine, but I think with the leaving cert, like for us, it was like very traumatic from the point of view of like. So it's usually 3 years because most schools do like a transition year. So transition year is like you go and do some work experience and you do some extra subjects for like that you won't normally do. So like you might like we had like a mini company where we had to invent a company and like make money off that and sort of stuff. and then like we'd go back, and then the next 2 years we're just actually studying. But like for those 3 years, it's hammered into you that like you need to study, because like at the end of this, you're going to do 2 weeks of solid exams, and they're going to determine your entire life, is what they tell you. And that like it's kind of a lot for like a teenager to
Yeah.
hear and get the stress off. And so like and it's literally just well, I mean some subjects like say art and all that, you would get like projects to do throughout the 3 years that you would hand in for certain marks, and they are trying to turn that into more like current assessment, where your teacher marks you up for the few years that you're doing it. So it's like I think that's going to be 40%, with the final exams being 60%. But whenever I did it, and all my subjects were like accounting and economics, so like it was no projects that I could do. It was literally all based on my exams. So come June 2007, it was like these 2 weeks are going to decide if I get to go to any sort of college or not. And the annoying thing was as well, the previous October, you have to pick what you want to do in college, which I don't feel is great. So like like you do that, and like be like you know the way to do it is that you get like a priority system. You do like a top 10, and I think it's a top 10, and if you get, so it's all based on points, and if you get enough points, basically it fills out whatever number of slots are in that college, and then they will only send you the acceptance letter from your top pick. So you have to decide what you really want to do back in that October, because you get no other choices other than your top pick that they will send to you. So like you don't have anything, because I know like in America, like you might get like acceptance letters from like a bunch of different colleges, right? And then you can like decide.
Choose.
Yeah. So here it's like you have to choose what college you want to go to and what subject you want to go to, and put those in order, and like decide there and then what you want to do, and then you have to hope that you get like your the points that you need based on your results the following June in 2 weeks. And it's like it's 2 solid weeks of constant like exams, like 3 hour exams twice a day of like English and math one day, and then Irish and math the next, and then like maybe French and English the next day, and it's all jumbled up, and it like really fucks with a lot of things. And I don't think it's very good at getting people ready for the real world. And I know that's like a big thing with educational systems around the world, but like the only one I know is the Leaving Cert fully, and it really fucking sucks in terms of like getting you ready for life afterwards. Because like a lot of it comes down to like say English, um, they basically do like poets, and you kind of know what poets are coming up. So like instead of like actually learning like good like poetry reading and like good like skills and that sort of thing, your teacher for 3 years basically says, okay, we think Sylvia Plath is coming up, let's just learn Sylvia Plath.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. And it's like she gives you like very, or your teacher whatever, gives you like very like specific points to read from and to write, and you're basically like guided to do it a specific way. So there's like nothing natural about it. Like you're basically, it's conformity and all that sort of stuff, which I hate in the educational system. And it really sucks for like actually like doing anything practical, I think, for a lot of things. It might work like if you can get through it and all that, but like I just remember the harshness of it, and like not really feeling like I was being stimulated, because like we were kind of being herded towards a certain thing rather than actually learning something that could be like used like these days. So it
Right.
kind of sucked. And then I saw it with my brother as well. Like my brother was like, because he has like some learning difficulties and stuff. So like the schools like care about getting good grades so they can advertise it. So like he was kind of like thrown to the wayside by one of the schools, because like they just wanted them to get good Leaving Cert results,
Yep.
which wasn't fully possible. So I don't know.
Unfortunately, that's way too common here as well. We have
Yeah,
the
yeah,
SATs and the ACTs, and
yeah,
depending on where you live in America,
yeah,
and then it's based on what you're going to do in college. However,
hmm
you can go to college just by writing like a really good letter and
yeah,
having like decent grades and go in for general studies.
yeah.
So you don't have to pick your major. You can basically have like a B average, and you can go to community colleges. You can go to
Sure.
regular colleges. You have all these options open for you, and yet, what do I learn?
We Exactly, yeah. I mean, like we have other options as well in here, but like you're not. The teachers don't really tell you that here, right?
No.
Because they're like your own. This is your opportunity, and you need to take this, or else you're gonna be in the gutter.
Right.
And
You're gonna be
it
homeless, and
really,
you're just like, how do
yeah,
you know? Like, what are you
yeah.
saying?
I'm already homeless. What are you talking about? Like I'm already there. I've got nothing to fear. No, but it really sucks that they were doing that. And like I know that they were doing it because the unruly kids and all that, but like it really sticks with so many people, and it stuck with me for a long time for like just like how awful it was coming up to approaching that. And like I found it really hard to like focus on studying just because I wasn't stimulated, because like I felt like I wasn't taking in good information, and I still don't think I took in good information. Again, I feel like, I enjoyed the aspect that we were going to learn Macbeth, but I feel like just doing Macbeth for 3 years and like being guided towards writing a very specific essay, that like if they ask this question, you're basically going to write this with this quote and do this. And it's like, like you're not really learning yourself to read something, you're learning how to parrot back this very specific thing. It kind of reminds me of the way people try and use Chat GPT these days for some exam stuff and all that.
Right?
So, yeah, except the teacher was the Chat GPT. But I don't know. It's I feel education systems around the world kind of need like a good revamp. Because I know I've heard from like American friends over the years how bad that can be there too. So
For some reason, leaving certificate, by the way, me knowing nothing about it, I thought when you started talking, it meant that if you failed as like a kid or whatever, you had to get booted like out of Ireland. Like it meant like you were leaving.
Yeah, you're not good enough for us. Get out.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this can't be real. Like, and it's not. But like, I was like, oh my god, can you freaking imagine your junior year and you're just like, okay, if you take this test and you fail, you have to leave Ireland.
You're out of the country. You're exiled.
Because your grades
it's like
weren't
a classic
good enough.
exile thing. That's what I need to do in my Minecraft servers now that you've said this, is like hold a test like every few weeks, and anyone that fails, just boot them out of the community village or something. You have to go 3,000 blocks away to the east. Go. Here's a backpack. Here's like some fish. There. I think the thing that wouldn't work for us because we already have enough people leaving as it is. We're still like a heavy like a lot of emigration from here. I feel like a lot of people are going to Canada and Australia still, especially like over the last like 5 years. So
yeah, I wish I could go to Canada, but that's.
I want to go to Canada. Canada's been like my number one for like 20 years. So
yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about one last thing. I saved it for last because I know it is your favorite. And that's Muse.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I'm the Muse guy. I am the Muse guy across the board. I'm the Eurovision and Muse guy. 20 and a half years now of being obsessed with Muse, I would say. Like, they're like the number one band for me by far. I think my Last FM has like a bit of it's convoluted because like my laptop that I had like back in the late 2000s broke with listens, but I think like Muse have like 100,000 listens, and my second favorite band have like 5,000.
Wow.
So Muse are like certainly up there, we'll say.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they're very special to me. They're the main band that I've ever traveled for overseas. I mean, say overseas, I went to England. That's not really, it's over AC.
Yeah.
Although I would like to go and see them in Europe or in North America at some stage. But I don't know, there's something like just very, I connected with them very deeply, very quickly, I think, and like it waned for a bit. I was very angry around them for 5 years whenever I felt like they went terrible. But I don't know, I'm kind of back in the love thing now, and like just I don't know, they're very, very special to me.
This is the one that I know, Black Holes and Revelations.
I feel that was like Starlight was huge. It's funny because like that was like the first album in like America because like I think the previous two albums didn't get released in America, which is I always wonder how different things would be. Basically, whenever they released the second album, they were on the Mavericks label. Whenever Muse started off, like they were wined and dined by like every label in America and stuff. So they were on Maverick, and whenever they released the second album, Maverick came to them like, hey, can you kind of not sing in falsetto so that we can like put this on the radio? And Matt was like, no. So like the record company basically dropped them, so they had no like official record deal in America. It was just the rest of the world. So like America kind of lost them for 2 albums basically. And then Black Holes came out, and I feel like that is like my favorite album is Absolution, but Black Holes is like very special to me because it has my favorite song of all time on it, Map de Problematique. I love that song so much, and just I don't know, it's a very special album, and that like run is very special to me from those three albums because like it's a very special era, and it's definitely the era up until like maybe 2009. I feel is like when most people would know them because like they got huge, they got to do like the theme song for the Olympics in 2012 and stuff, and then like I don't know, they've kind of dropped off a bit, but I
Yeah.
feel they were the biggest band in the world for maybe like a week at one stage, so it was a
Yeah.
time.
All right, so fun fact. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know this. In 2002, Muse threatened Celine Dion with legal action when she planned to name her Las Vegas show Muse, and Muse had a
Yeah.
worldwide performing rights to the name. Muse refused after an offer from Dion of $50,000 for the rights, as they feared it would harm their chances of breaking into the U.S. market. Bellamy
Yeah.
says, "We don't want to turn up there and people thinking we're Celine Dion's backing band."
Yeah, I remember that exact quote as well. I remember all of that quote. So,
I assume they
I
won.
they won. Yeah, I think they donated that money to charity in the end. I think they had another, if I recall correctly. I think they had like another lawsuit with Nescafe because they used their cover of "Feeling Good" in the song, and they were like, "We didn't allow this," and I think they won that as well and gave it
Oh my god.
to charity too. So, um, I used to be, I would guess, I was would have considered my brain my Wikipedia page for Muse in itself because I was like looking up every article that was ever posted from around the world about them and just like, they were like the obsession for me. That I would
Yeah.
know everything. So, like I would like watch every set list come in from around the world and be like, what are they playing tonight? What's going on? And like, no, that sort of thing too. So like, whenever I say obsessed, I mean obsessed. Like I was like just they were everything to me
All
for
right.
so long.
So then this one. During the 2004 Absolution Tour, Bellamy smashed 140 guitars, a world record for the most guitars smashed in a tour.
Yeah, that's like the fact that NME magazine, the music magazine in the UK, always use with Matt is like that he smashed the most guitars. So
That
They-
why?
um, he used an Ibanez guitar or Ibanez, whatever you call it, and like it was specifically there just for him to smash it at the end of like certain songs. He still smashes stuff these days, but like he owns he so his main guitar will be Manson Guitar Works, so he owns them now. So like he owns his own guitar stuff and all that, but like I think he just did it just
Just because.
because it was
Yeah.
just because it was the way to rock out, I guess. It was a way to smash things up and get the crowd happy. He'd always hand the broken guitar out to people as well, so
He did what?
that was fun. He always would hand the broken guitar out to someone in the crowd as well, so
Aww.
that was
Yeah.
always fun.
I love it when the drummers throw drumsticks.
Yeah. Oh, so like at the end of every music gig, they do like they play Man with the harmonica before Nice and Sidonia, which they always close with. So like it's not just the drumsticks, but they also throw the harmonica out into the crowd and all that now as well and stuff. So like you just see everyone like begging for it, and it's always fun
Right.
to see like everyone going crazy and asking for the set lists of as well and stuff too. So
Throw me your
that they have in there.
shirt. Why you want
Yeah,
my
exactly.
shirt? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Throw me your pants. All right, now hold on. I'm gonna have to stop it there. Fine, here's my shirt. Okay, now wait a minute. This is getting weird.
That's how it would go. That's how it would go. There's one very specific person I'm thinking of that kind of did that once with the shirt. So I remember that in like 2013. I think they like actually tried to grab Matt's shirt once too. So
Oh my god.
yeah, the Bang fangirl. It's fun to see like because like with them being around so long, it's like fun going to gigs now and just seeing like a bunch of women in their 60s still like going crazy over like these guys in their 40s and all
Yes.
that. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah, especially in 1994 to present. So that's what,
Yeah.
30 years?
30 years, yeah, 30th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Like their first album was 1999, so like they celebrated the 20th anniversary of their third album like just a few months ago. So
That's insane.
yeah,
That's insane.
they've been around for so long, and like I know so many people that like my main mod on my channel like lives near where they're from and stuff. So like through her and like other people like I know like many people that were like around for like the very beginning whenever they were playing in small clubs and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
always
man.
wild to hear the
That's
stories.
so cool.
Yeah. And like I've met them a couple of times as well, which has like been fun. So like it's been a good time. There's one very specific moment I remember where like so the bassist Chris would like do like a lot of soccer matches with fans and stuff before like either the day before or day after gigs, and he actually moved to Dublin for a while. So like he did a before the gig in 2012. He was like, "Hey, come here tomorrow at like 7:30 p.m. and we'll do a match." So it was like at this football club. We, myself and my friend, showed up like 2 hours early because we're like, we'll go there. It'll probably be busy eventually. Nobody was there early.
What?
Yeah, nobody was there early. The clubhouse wasn't even open. And then the owner of the club comes up and is like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here? You're gonna have to like wait and stuff. And do you want to go away and stuff?" And we're like, "Nah, we'll wait here. It'll be fine." And he was like, "Oh, well, it's cold. Come on inside." So we went inside and started talking to all the club staff. And it was just us. And like they were offering us like tea and stuff for free and all that. So like we were talking to them for a while. And then they opened up the doors because it was really cold outside. But like we were the ones that were kept talking to the staff. They didn't really talk to anyone else. And then like whenever it came time for the football match, we were going out, and one of the guys was like, "Okay, you two, you're meeting Chris after like privately after the game and stuff." We're like, "Yeah, right, whatever." We thought he was taking the piss because we were, Irish people. We were all bantering with each other all day.
Right.
And then after the game, we're standing behind the barrier that they signed out for people to like get stuff in, and they were going to take in like people in wheelchairs and stuff to meet them privately, just to like make it easier for them. But no, the guy that works for the club comes out and is like, "You two, come here." And like pulls us out from behind the barrier and like pulls us into the secretary's office. And we were literally the first people he got to meat that night and stuff.
Oh my gosh, dream come true.
Exactly, yeah, and it was like pretty wild. And then
because you were waiting in a queue.
Exactly, the queue. A queue of 2 people still counts, right? Like, yeah, it's
you
fine.
were talking with the people who were there, who were going to help you with the queue.
This is why I love queues. Now you see the light. You see everything. Everyone sees the light. It's perfect. Great full circle. That's
full
great.
circle, man. I got it. All right. Let's wrap this up. All right. So
it's been
2 hours. Is there anything? I know we have like 4 subjects we didn't hit, but I tried to hit everything as best I could.
I think that's all the main ones pretty much hit.
Okay.
Describe a lot of my interest. So yeah.
Excellent. I hope you had fun.
This was great. This is my favorite thing in a long time. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
So glad.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome. I'm happy to have you on. This will be up on YouTube either tonight or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then feel free to show your friends.
I'll post it around everywhere I can.
Anyone who's joined see OoRacket, definitely, if this is something that interests you, definitely drop a follow. Because there will be more of this every Wednesday. At 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, next week is Chris Cox. So the L is silent, so it's Chris L. Cox. But yes. Infozar, where are you on the shout out? You can blame Infozar.
Carp is like a mod everywhere, and she just like cannot keep her sword away. She just can't do it.
Oh, Galvos got it in. No, that's fine. But yeah, definitely go check out OoRacket. Definitely go have tea with him. Apparently, you can go visit. Yeah, come visit. It's fine. I'm excited for another karaoke whenever that happens. Oh, did we lose you? Right at the very end. What happened? Oh my god, what happened? Come hang out in the queue. Where'd he go? Well, yeah, clearly. Sorry, I was taking out my contacts. Having a sword and doing nothing is basically my brand. You're fine. I was just messing with you. But it doesn't matter if OoRacket comes back or not. I mean, it matters. I want him back. But just so you know that next week is Chris Cox, and then we are going to go ahead and raid out. So I'm going to see real quick who is on. That's so funny that he just pieced out. Oh, it's doing that weird thing. Okay. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. That's correct. That is a correct statement. Yay, more karaoke. We are going to go to Subtracticat. Let's see how long. They've only been on for 13 minutes, so this will be perfect. I actually met Subtracticat at OoRacket at TwitchCon. And so we are going to raid out Subtracticat. OoRacket, I'm so sorry. I dropped out of the call. I'm waiting for you. I'm right here. But there's nothing there. I'm in the TwitchCon queue. Exactly. Alright, guys. This is the raid call. It's very boring and very basic. But yeah, please follow. Hello.
Oh, okay. It did work this time. Okay, cool.
Okay, you ready to
sorry.
say goodbye?
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thanks so much. I'm glad to come back. Chaos. We get chaos at the end as well.
There you go. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks so much, Panda.